Yeah. All right, we in here. Listen, yes, we're going to talk about the Super Bowl because that just happened literally about an hour and a half ago within that time frame. I got a question that I want to ask on the front of the pod because it caused a fight in my aunt's household. Oh. And my question that I have, right, is that in this generation of new young quarterbacks, right, I'm taking Tom Brady, I'm taking Matthew Stafford out of here, being with the older generation, just got their last rides in, right? Who is number two? We know that Patrick Mahomes is number two. And the arguments that I've been getting has been Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. Blatant disrespect for my man who's been there twice now, right? I got that he's a Alex Smith of Grant Hills. Right? And I said, that's not fair. My man had 3 touchdowns today. I believe 2 in the air, 1 on the ground, right? He put up 200 yards. He's been there twice now. He's the only guy to beat this guy. Josh Allen, you can give me that argument. I'm with you, right? I'm just getting my shit out the way in case y'all don't agree, right? More so Lex, right? Because I think you don't give a damn. It's all good. But my argument for my argument for argument's sake is that he went and did it. Josh Allen's had 4 tries in the AFC Championship game and just can't do it. And so if you sit here and say, oh, well, the team is good, you're right. That's the only way you're going to beat this guy is with a good defensive line. The Bucs did it, right, with Tom Brady, and then now you see the Eagles do it, right? And so I just argue that, like, they have a good formula. And then also, Lamar's never won an AFC Championship game. Right. So, yeah, we can sit here and maybe I sound crazy, but I also heard, coming up that Pat Mahomes was better than Tom Brady. Right. That was the conversations that were happening, especially if he three-peated. I'm OK with that if we're able to say that, look, man, Hurts is that guy for getting the job done at least. Lex?
No, it's Lamar.
Go ahead, give me a reason. give me.
That's me saying that wearing this shirt.
That is crazy. Yeah, that's a tough thing to say.
It is what it is.
I'm not even get mad.
It's Lamar. It's Lamar, then probably Josh, then Joe. Yeah, I got Jalen kind of down there.
Yeah, I know. People do, and I just feel like,
and he's a great game manager. Like, he gets it done. Like, he's.
You don't think if you put him on the Ravens that the Ravens would be a playoff team?
A playoff team, maybe.
Because honestly, with that being said, I mean, they're no better with Lamar Jackson based on that logic.
No. What I'm saying, like, I think a lot of Jalen's stats, especially his touchdowns, are kind of inflated due to, like, those should be going, like, to your running back.
No, I'll give you that.
It should be that. Like, so yeah, you get the stats and everything. Like, he played a really good, like, he deserved to be MVP
Same
tonight.
argument about Lamar's rushing yards, though.
No, it's not.
It is, man.
Lamar be running.
He do.
I'm talking about the touchdowns.
I'm talking
about the touchdowns. The tush push shit. Saquon should have had even more touchdowns, which is crazy.
Oh, you really been out the loop, huh?
What's tush push?
I love it, though.
Is that a person?
No, it's a move.
So it's one big person.
Yeah,
moving in unison.
One big move they do. That's
the flying
like
V.
a play?
It looks like a rugby play.
Oh, that's
so like
cool.
they give the ball to Jalen. You know who Jalen Hurts is?
No. Not even gonna find.
Wow.
I know. Sorry,
Can you
guys.
Google him real quick and let me know if he's up your alley? That's the thing. No, I think he might. He wears backward Kango hats. He
He's
like
up
identifies
everybody.
with the 90s.
He's the reason I bought my hoops.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Jalen Hurts. Right when you get the JAL.
Oh, he came up right.
Yeah. I know. Right when you get the JAL.
Okay, let me see.
Big nasty vibes. Look. Trust me. All the women that
I don't know.
Oh shit, she's different.
Maybe I'm seeing too much of his. He has like always all this paint on his face.
Yeah. Just put him in a suit.
Okay.
Yeah, put him in a suit. Yeah, we don't need to see him war ready.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you see something?
I trying to brighten this up all the way.
He hates it.
Oh,
yeah, that's him. See, yeah. Hey.
Leave that young man alone.
Jalen, this is who just won the Super Bowl?
Yes, absolutely.
See, look at Carl to find a way to get me interested.
See, it's a nice looking man right there. I ain't even lie.
Hallelujah, praise
Nice
the Lord.
looking man. I want to hate.
Congratulations, sir.
But I mean, it'd be like our friend Debo. Send him a DM. Debo like the DM people.
It says wife. Let's look at the wife.
I don't think he has a wife.
Yeah, she's bad.
Oh, she got a wife?
Yeah, he's a good. He's not out here running the streets.
Oh,
thank
man.
God.
He's a great dude.
Thank God.
He's just a great,
causing havoc and everybody.
He's a great guy, man.
She kind of looks like.
Oh, go ahead, play the music. Let me see you play the music.
Hold on, don't you kind of look like?
No. I'll give you somebody else if it was. I would say if but no.
She's pretty.
All right, let's get to it. I'm so happy for these guys. Look like a great dad, I'm telling you. Yes. I want to welcome you all to the You Wasn't Outside podcast on the Grown Folks Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts, not doing the most normal ass Carl. To my front, I have my man at Just Lex. To his left, to my right. I ain't got nothing sassy to say to you today, right? I'm gonna just keep it, straightforward. We got at Miss at Juicy J. Shut the fuck up. My voice gone. I've been yelling all week. Yeah, man.
Oh my goodness.
2 weeks. Look, I'm gonna get the elephant out of the room. I got home. I'll start from here. My boy had a golf tournament.
Yeah.
First annual. First Chance U University. It was beautiful. It's for youth. Trying to get like scholarships and, work their way up into football and stuff like that, and, doing well off the field. So we were out there trying to raise money. So we all flew out there, all my friends from different areas. We went there. First night, I was so stoked because like it was the first time for like a 34 and up trip where we all didn't even blink at like staying in the house and watching sports and drinking and chilling.
I love that.
We go out the second night, right? So we go to the course and then, we go out, after drinking and hanging out. And we had an older gentleman with us that's probably about a few years younger than my dad.
Okay.
We go to the casino. He make it through the front door. He watch a few handshakes of craps. He like, yo, I'm going home. He dipped, right?
Smart.
So then my man's hit me. He's like, hey, man, we got a table. I said, oh, normally I'd feel great about this, right? And even worse, I left my wedding ring at home, and she took a photo of it. It wasn't on purpose. We've been getting our bathroom remodeled, so like all my shit is just everywhere, right? Or it was.
But not to Vegas.
Yeah. So I was like, yo, fam, like it's all bad. So we get to the club, right? A lot of things happen, and I realized that I'm just really out the game.
Okay.
There was a girl. I was telling my wife this earlier. I totally forgot to tell her this. There was a girl outside. She was talking to a dude. He had on a big shirt, pants. Everything. He looked like he was from this era. And the girl was like, you know what? I really like your streetwear.
That was like his authentic clothing.
Yeah, but his shit was fire. I just said, why'd you call it streetwear? Right? That sounds like, it seems so authentic, but like not authentic at the same time. Like, yo, calling it streetwear is crazy. But I was like, yo, like this culture really didn't grow up with real gangs, like being outside and stuff. They just call it streetwear, right? So I thought that was odd. Then in the section, I realized that like rap is dead for males.
What do you mean?
They played All Sexy Red, Lotto, Big Lotto. Let me put some, spice on her name.
Big Mama.
Yeah, yes,
Mama.
absolutely. They played all of that, and I was sitting here thinking like, male rap is dead, right? Like the females are killing it right now. And then I also noticed that like coming home. So we get home. I get home at like 2 a.m.
Oh, that's not too late.
Not too bad at all.
Not at all.
Flight's at 6 or 7, right? So I was like, fuck. So I get about 2.5 hours of sleep, and then I get to the airport, and then I fly home, in which I couldn't sleep. It's the same weekend that all the planes were falling down. You get what I'm saying? So I'm praying on every takeoff and landing, right?
That's traumatic.
Yeah. And then think about it. I'm like, yo, DC just happened, like, yo, they're gonna be on red alert. Nah, then the Philly crash happened, right? I'm like, fuck, I can't catch a break. What if I'm on the, your mind just start racing.
Yeah, of course.
So now I'm just happy to be on the ground, right, when we get back. So now the anxiety for an hour, just like, just wait for anything, like I can help anything anyway.
Yeah.
So we get home, and I'm like, I'm good. I go and eat. And then I'm like, yo, that shit just hit me. So you hit me, I think you hit the group chat and was like, yo, we gonna pod? And I was like, yo, as much as I want to pod right now, my body's not letting me get up right now. Yeah, I crashed out, went to sleep. I woke up around 6:30. I started text messaging the group chat, and then I watched the Grammys. And I was like, yo, like just chilling in the house feels good on a Sunday. I don't know if y'all felt that, but like I don't know if
it felt good. Yeah.
I didn't know if people was like, oh, thank God, Carl. Like I felt like we had to be there. I know like y'all like being here and shit, but like that was the one Sunday where I was like, yo, just let me just have some peace at home with my family tonight. So
I am like that friend who's like, as excited as I am to do things, I'll always take a cancellation. I'm not gonna lie. I'm always like,
you down for a cancel.
I'm always down for a cancellation.
It's all good. And the way she said it too, it's like, go ahead, get your rest. Get your rest. I said, I don't know if she fucking with me, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I ain't respond back. Lex didn't even say a word of the shit the whole time.
I knew that you were with the guys, like that's your guys' crew. You know,
Yeah.
We went to high school together, so I know a little bit of his crew, and I knew that you guys were gonna be I just knew like golfing's long, that being out there, and then I knew you guys were probably gonna hang out a little.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, but yeah, get your rest, and I'm gonna get mine.
I hated the spot we went to though.
The actual golf
That's
course.
another thing too. I'm a little bougie now, so the place that they picked, I was like, damn.
Rich people problems.
I don't even. You know what?
We hashtagging that. That's our little tagline for Carl over here. It's a good problem to have.
I feel like my investments and talking to my friends earlier on, like the house that we chose, I'm not house poor. That's the problem. I mean, that's the solution to a problem. Because had I moved to where he was at, I'd be broke as shit. That's what I'm saying. Like that the prices you pay, like that excess cash that I have that I don't spend.
You're able to enjoy yourself.
I found the one pocket of like this part of town that I'd be like, yo, you know what? I'm cool with living here for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And being all right. So
I love it. I love this area.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anybody else? What y'all do? Anybody do anything dope last 2 weeks? Family friendly shit? Anything? I thought for sure 2 weeks in that y'all motherfuckers had something.
You know.
He said you thought. That's great.
You know.
Oh shit!
Back in the game,
keep it this way. Yeah, turn it. Keep it this way.
Yeah.
Hey, for those who cannot see,
that's us.
Yo, the fact that it's in your pocket.
I thought he was pulling out a letter to read. I was petrified.
The way he walked in, like that's his glove box.
Hey, I've been driving everybody's car.
Oh shit!
Scoot over.
You ready to go, Big Mama?
I think I can go now.
Okay,
oh man, that's
That
funny
could
as
be
hell.
my first one.
Oh shit! So, you took the test again?
Yeah.
How was it? So Lex showed us his DMV paperwork. So he's back with his paper license.
He's official
for now. So does George Bailey send you back like your other one that you had? I'm fucking with you. Don't answer that. Don't answer that. I'm joking. Don't answer the joke. All right, but anyway, how was the test and the whole process? You're the first person I met that took a test in a long time.
Yeah, I was at first. It was a long ass day getting over there, and then I'm getting anxious on the way there because before I left, I took a couple more practice tests, and those didn't do so well. You never realize how many different signs there are that you just don't pay attention to. Like, I don't give a fuck what that means. There's like this sign. My whole life, I'm thinking this sign says the curve is winding, and it really means that shit is slippery.
Oh, like when wet?
No, it doesn't say when wet. It just has a little line. I'm like, oh yeah, that means the road's gonna be winding. Like, nah, it's slippery.
That's what that means, though. I thought. What'd you think it was?
The slippery.
Oh, you knew?
Yeah. Remember I told you I took it the other day. I got 100%.
Hey.
Remember, don't forget about that.
Oh my god, you took the test.
Yeah, Mike. Remember my glasses?
Oh,
they made me retake it.
They put that shit on my lights, my new one now.
See,
I was like, hey, I'm about to go get this handled though. I ain't trying to come back to do this.
Welcome to the club.
It took an hour. It took an hour to get there. I waited in line.
Which one you go to? Otay one?
Oh,
No,
Park.
well, Taiwan.
There's a DMV.
Chula Vista, you mean?
Or Chula Vista, yeah.
Yeah,
it's an Otay one to say.
Nah, I went to the OG Chula Vista one.
Ugh.
Oh, by the old Target.
That's my least favorite one.
Hey,
when you on the bus, you just trying to get to the quickest one.
Yeah, you can pass over
It took
there,
an hour to get there. I
right
waited in line for like 30, 40 minutes.
You didn't have an appointment?
Nah, because I kept trying to make one, and then it was just kept glitching or some shit.
You had to take off work?
Then I was like, this is really a fucking all day event. Then I waited in line. Then I waited once I got a number for another hour and a half. And then I get up there and she's like, "Oh, let me make sure you got everything you need to do." And I'm like, "I was told I need to show y'all this insurance, pay my little fine, take this test." And she's like, "Okay, yeah." Then she does it. And then she's like, "Oh, anytime there's a reinstatement, we got to call headquarters. So I'm going to have to say, you got to back up. And I'll call you back." And I'm like, and that was like another 30 minutes. And she calls me back up. She's like, "Yeah, you're good to go." And the way she said that, I was like, "Oh shit, I ain't got to take the test." Cause she's like writing everything up. I paid everything. I'm like, cool. She's like, "All right, now it's time to go test." I was like, "Ooh."
He thought he was getting.
I took my picture and everything. I was like, y'all think highly of me that I'm gonna pass this shit.
Nah,
You thought you were about to skate
they're
there?
trying to get you through.
But then, based on how
You're
it
part
looks
of an
right now,
initiative.
it don't look like it looks like they let you keep trying no matter what.
What do you mean?
The same day?
Like, cause this other girl, she failed next to me. And then like, "Do you want to try again? Do you want to come back?" I was like, "Try again."
That's real pain.
And it's like it's like they let you keep going until you just answer enough questions. Didn't matter for me because I don't think I missed like 2.
That's not bad at all.
But
Ain't 100.
I was happy about 100 when I was 16, but like this time I was like, "Yo, I just need to get the fuck out of here. I'm starving, dehydrated." Got my shit back, and then
What was the first car? Who's the first? Like, where was your first drive?
to the football game that night,
Okay.
mile down the road.
Did it feel funny or did it feel like
I thought I was gonna
riding a
get in the
bike?
car, have no idea what the fuck I was doing. I thought I was gonna hit something for sure.
It's been a year, huh?
Year and a half.
Damn.
But it was smooth. It was
Felt
smoother than I
natural.
thought it was gonna be. But then she on the side of me over here, just like being like mom and shit. Like, "Oh my god, do you see this? Do you see that?" I'm like, "Bitch, what do you think I am?" Like, I'm still me.
I'm still be. Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
Nobody.
alright.
He drive bad, but if you drive bad, he may not. If he say that you drive bad, then that means that you got. But he's bad.
Oh,
I'm
he's
not
worse
bad.
than me?
I'm not bad.
The way he take bumps, he drive like it's 96 still.
Oh, he
Yeah,
whipping?
he slow motion though. Like he think he's
No, and my
motherfucker
suspension
drive like he
lasts.
from Houston.
My suspension lasts 40% longer than everybody else's.
He go over the bump sideways. The boys in the day.
Suspension love me.
Yes, absolutely. Jay,
You know. that's
protecting
it.
your peace.
Where am I at?
Protecting your peace is fine.
No, you know what? I feel like I have some like accountability to take, some like confessions to make,
Okay.
some apologies to give.
Oh shit.
Shit, we about to turn up.
Let me know. I'm awake now.
Okay, where should I start?
I don't know where you started at. It's great though. I know.
feel like I'm in the confession booth right now. I'm like in my own. I had a lot of I had 2 weeks of like a lot of aha moments, a lot of self-reflection, a lot of moments where, not a lot, but where other people were giving me feedback for my growth. But I think like one thing I wanted to start with was like, I noticed like when I watched our episode last week and I was like giving my perspective on how long we should wait until we meet kids, like it came off really judgy. And I didn't like my tone. I think like sometimes when I'm talking, I sound really convicted, not even like intentionally. And I just like, I want to like apologize to Lex, to everyone, because like I don't mean to come off judgmental, and I appreciate you like not taking things personal. I don't know if you intentionally hold it and are like, I'm not going to take this personal because you don't, or if you don't notice it. But for me, when I'm speaking, I'm not thinking like of specific people. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking about myself, like what I would want, what I think. But then I wasn't thinking how that would maybe like shame or show like judgment to like other people. You know, it felt icky. It felt like I was like, I don't like that. And so I just like, and I know there's times like, you know, that we have to pick and choose because we all don't agree with the same things. Like even like, you know, like I'm not a big Kobe fan. I have my own opinions about him. Like I'm not going to harp on certain things that, you know, I don't need to harp on. So I think that we have like an understanding as a certain point, you know, but I also think it's important to be like, oh, okay, like I realize that, I don't know, maybe that kind of could have sounded or been taken like some kind of way, you know? So I just wanted to acknowledge that and say I'm sorry, Lex, if I came off like judgy.
So we not turning up then? Because I already know where this is coming from.
You don't know or you do know?
I remember the comment. I don't remember thinking like, oh, she's talking about me.
I wasn't. But then when I thought about it, like just like the different timelines that we have taken and the things that anyone's done, whether you've introduced your children to somebody like within a few months of breaking up or weeks or years, whatever, like everyone's path is different. And I even thought about it, like you were like it's not realistic, like you guys are tripping. And you're right, like if you're broken up and you're moving on, like
he's still gonna say that me and you are better than him. Mm-hmm. He gonna still say keep going though.
No, he's gonna get there. And then like I think like he's gonna get there. I believe in him.
Oh,
and then just like the whole like it's a little vulgar, it's a little explicit, like realizing I think that like I love a little frisky talk, and when we start talking I sometimes forget we're potting, honestly. Like I know but I don't know. It's a weird disconnect, you know what I mean? I can't explain it. I can really let loose with you guys, like and you guys are funny, we kind of can amp each other up, but we are in public.
Right.
This isn't a private conversation, and I think that
I tried to join you that last episode, and so just so that you feel better, like the responses that we've gotten from both of y'all was like, yo, y'all been cooking the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So like with that being said, so much so that I owe you an apology. Right. I ain't gonna get into detail.
No, I was gonna speak not of that necessarily, but it was attached to something else. To where, go ahead and finish.
Okay, I like this.
And so that's where I was
We're having a real come to Jesus moment right now.
Well, that's the other thing too. Like but me and him have already had this conversation. So like, and I said to him, I said, look, if I got you fucked up, let me know. You know what I mean? Same. I'm just telling you based off experience. And he said, that's fair based off experience. I said, so if I could dish it, I also got to be able to say, yo, I apologize for that too.
Yeah.
And so that's why I thought also that, like, I didn't think of it at the time, but, like, now I was like, yo, the natural break that we had of me just going and being gone that time anyway kind of helped out, because it was almost like the dog days where I felt like, we were potting our ass off, but I also felt like it took a lot for me to be here, like, those last couple of weeks, 3 weeks or whatever, and try to make something happen. And we naturally had great conversation and everything, but to me it was like, all right, well, shit, how did we top 2 weeks? I was surprised off of the second week. Right, and then it was like, all right, we could top 2 weeks by taking a break and coming back and coming with fresh ideas. Yes, especially based on how that Monday went after the fire ass pod. But anyway, go ahead.
No, I think that like we have a lot of fun, and I feel like we're really vulnerable, and we talk about a lot of topics, and we talk about grown folk business. So sometimes the conversations get real grown, but I think that like we all have a lot to say that can be centered towards other things, and just like being like respectful. I had a few like, this will be part of my confession. I had a gentleman kind of say like, it's kind of disrespectful to share like explicit stories to like about other men. And I was like, dang it. Like, I was like, it's anonymous. Like, I'm not putting their names out there. But then he was like, like, I would never like want, my business out there like that. Or he was like, I would never want to like tell my girl's business out there like that. And I was like, what, like, that's fair, And I was like, I wouldn't want to like hear something and be like, oh, is that he talking about me?
That's a tough one for me.
You know what I mean? And maybe that's something we can like debate.
That's a tough one.
And so I'm like, okay, maybe I just need to tone it down a notch, take it down a notch. Also, just like my own personal development and branding. It's very confusing, because I'm like, come to the Lord, let's go to church. And then like, 1 second later, I'm like, I was riding the dick. Like, it's like, where am I? Like, what message am I trying to get out there?
I think you're human.
To people. I am human, but I also think that like, as I like grow and develop, and especially like pursue like different entrepreneurial pursuits and just like different becoming a community member and taking up different spaces, I want to be a little bit more family friendly, I guess. like you said in the beginning.
So here's the thing too. My response to this isn't because I want you to keep doing that, right? I didn't call you here to be like, oh, she's gonna be the one that No, it was more so your personality in general, not like what your content is in terms of like things that you would talk about, right? So obviously that comes with you being free. I think that there's a double-edged sword. What you're getting at is some of the things that I've been personally struggling with is because like I feel like the time period that we live in, the things that you're saying, I want to be a little bit more different from, like different for, like those aren't things that people will sit here and judge you for anymore in this time period.
What do you mean? Say it. I'm
like
confused.
the conversations that we're having and stuff like that, I felt like those would be taboo conversation topics 15 years ago. Right now, like okay, give you a great example. Kanye's been on the bender the last 3 days, right? Obviously, he's pushing something, right? He's got products coming out. He's been saying some wild shit. I don't even know. Only thing I know he's been saying is based off of what they tell me. I don't even go look at it. It's that wild that someone else tells me. Because, like, to me, it's just like, yo, I'm not going to support this shit by, like, giving it time. So I hear from them. But, like, there is research that shows that, like, rage baiting, getting, like, rises out of people is entertaining.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? These personal stories that we share is entertaining. Although that gentleman told you, I don't know him from Adam, and I don't need to know who it is, but that gentleman told you, like, damn, I wouldn't want that out here. He listened. You get what I'm saying? Because the shit's interesting. It's like, wow, why the fuck would she tell that story? Let me hear more.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't, wow, let me tell this story off and I'm not fucking with her. It was, wow, she's telling the story. Let me listen. Let me hit her up. The shit was interesting. It was a conversation starter at that point. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Now, for your own peace, I'm not telling you to keep doing that shit or whatever, right? But I'm just saying that, like, yo, people will make those comments. And what I've learned is that, like, one, for us to sit down here every day is brave. Right? For us to sit down here all the time that we do come out here is commitment. Right? So it's like, I would never let somebody tell me what I should and should not do who's not as committed as I. Right? And I'm not, and that's not a diss. I tell this person that in their face, it's like, bro, you can't tell me nothing because I'm the one that's doing it. You can't tell me what's interesting or what isn't interesting because I've been doing this shit for 4 years. If I told the same lame ass stories or if I didn't open up or whatever, motherfuckers wouldn't listen. Exactly. If I didn't put out the wild clips or whatever, people wouldn't go click it. It'd just be, oh, there's just these three having these normal ass conversations again. No pun. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, but that's where I'm at in regards to what he said. I get where you at. And you ain't gotta worry about that.
No, I get it.
Him and I are gonna help do whatever releasing we need to do if you ain't gonna do it. That's all good.
No, I think it's just like finding like that balance. Like you said, I think like people are gonna have their opinions and we're not here to be boring. I'm not here to be boring, and I'm not a boring person as it is. Like, I feel like how I translate here is how I translate in real life. I mean, if maybe even tone down more because I'm not up and moving, and so there's not a big difference. Like, I am who I am everywhere. I think here I can let loose a little bit more because it's like we're in this little space. So just I think being like mindful, like, I'm definitely going to get my ish off. I'm about to get my ish off right now when I get to my confession. This might be one of the last times that when I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
I'm ready for it. You go ahead and hit the
Look, I'm already stumbling.
Hit the fast forward button. I'm ready now. I didn't know there was more. But wait, there's more. There's more.
Oh, God. All right.
Oh, shit.
I just feel like I'm telling
you. You want a few more minutes to think about it?
You see the hesitation? Because, man, I'm on this, like, path, and I got to do it. I got to be accountable because I hate being a hypocrite. I hate being a phony. I hate being fake. I hate saying that. I hate saying, like, one thing and doing another, right? Shit. And then getting away with it. Because if I get away with it, I'm going to keep doing it. And that's not what I want to do. So, I've been on my journey of trying to not be distracted. And I've been, trying to stay out of the streets.
Early in the pod. I'm not going to say a word. I can't look at you.
I can't even look at either one of you. I can't even look at the camera. I'm looking down. I'm looking at the mic.
Look at this man and his beautiful
family. I'm closing my eyes as I say all this.
Don't hold the mic like that when you say what you about to say. No, she was holding it like.
Can you?
I seen a video of your boy Orlando Brown. Like, yeah, he went crazy. Anyway, go ahead.
He went crazy.
What was he holding the mic like?
Oh, he put his mouth around it.
Oh.
Ray James.
Real
in the
Jill
room,
Scott.
Everybody, yeah. He wasn't playing. And they was like, oh, what is he doing?
Oh, that's interesting.
He came, it was the overhead mic too. He came in, he said, oh. This is crazy. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so, you know, I'm trying to be in the straight and narrow. And I was on a little bit of bull-ish. I dipped my toe a little into the streets for... I entertained. I did some entertaining. I went on some outings. I had some...
There was an S on that. That means more than one.
Yeah.
I had some moments. And, oh my goodness, I don't even know how much I'm about to tell y'all. I'm like, let me rewind.
We can get a few more minutes if you want to wait.
Yeah, you don't have to do this.
No. I do because, you know.
Somebody did this. We need one of those. We need that. They need that. That's a fab take.
Because I really was like, okay, I really wanted to, like, not deal with men at all. Honestly, I was like, I don't want to even be like open with men. I don't want to go on dates. I don't want to go on outings. I don't want to be chit chatting. I don't want to be replying to the DMs. And I owe you another apology. And I stand corrected for all of those times where you were like, it's easy. Like when I was like, oh, you're absolutely right. It is easy. And I'm convinced that like the like DM online like dating is like the devil's work. It's like it's too much access at your fingertips, and it's too much like allowing people to have access to you. And you know, I had a good little run there for a second.
Oh shit!
Are we talking about just the past 2 weeks? Like, what are we? Or are you just saying like you're coming out? Okay.
No, yeah, like the last like maybe like 3 weeks. You know. Possibly 4. No more than 4.
No, the more time you give, I think helps your story.
No.
I just didn't know if you were talking about. Damn, you.
How long were you in a relationship for though?
Almost 5 years.
Look, me and my wife been having this conversation, so I don't want you to feel bad. Not like we gonna break up or nothing.
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, like. If we broke up or whatever, I'd probably make her run that in the streets. The problem is I have kids.
Yes.
So like you would have to catch me all the time I didn't have my kids, and that's hard. Like I be hearing y'all talking, I'm like, fuck.
It's like a Pokemon.
I don't know how that works because like I still got to be me, like how I would be if we were still together, but we not together. But I have to have energy like I don't have this going on anyway.
It's so
So like, but I would probably go on a run of all runs because it's like it's not that I'm yearning for that. It's just that I don't know how much time I'm gonna have.
Yeah.
If I go find something new, she gonna take me back or whatever. I might as well go ahead and like get as much time as I can right now. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, I haven't been like, I don't want to give the wrong idea that I've been out here just like legs open, backed out, like booty up in the air, like. But you know, I've gone on some dates. I've had some fun. I've had a little fun. I've like had some regrets. I've had some.
You had
new
regrets
experiences.
In the moment? Whoa, shit. Felt like some of your other experiences was already. You know, I felt like, oh shit. All right.
Regrets in the moment. Yeah, I would say that like I'm a little more vain than I guess I thought. First of all, I'm definitely a little bit more vain than I thought. Like I only 6 feet and up, and people are either better looking, like drastically better looking than they are online, or drastically not. Like it's like one or it feels like one extreme or the other. It's either like good lord, or it's like oh damn.
Shit like in the Temu package. You don't know if it's gonna work or not.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so I don't know, but anyways, I think that like I remember I told you guys I was like feeling down and out. I was depressed. I was sad. I was lonely. I was bored. And I was like, you know what? Let me do a little bit of entertaining. But quickly, I was just like, oh my God. As quick as I jumped in, I was like, this isn't what I want to do. It's not conducive to the goals that I have. And it's wild out there. It is wild in the short amount of time. I mean, I'm like.
What makes it wild?
First of all, men will literally
How quick it
say
can move.
anything.
I gotta know what they say. I don't give a fuck what that guy said. You gotta tell me what
I
these
have
niggas
multiple
saying.
men tell me they love me. They
Damn.
can see themselves falling in love with me.
Damn.
They want to make me their wife. I had
How old are these dudes?
anywhere from fucking 23 to 50. That's the other wild thing. Is 20s,
The dads
30s,
is doing it with the sons.
40s, 50s. That's 4 generations of men. I was talking about this the other day. 4 different generations of men to navigate through. You know, and then I thought for sure, like, oh, get rid of like the young ones. But then I got homegirls in my DMs telling me, like, dude, after I broke up with my husband or we got divorced, like, my man came in, he swooped in, he's 10 years younger than me. He's the best husband, the best father. He does everything. Multiple women telling me this. And I was like, oh, dang, maybe I'm writing off these young cats too soon. Like, because we were talking. Oh, my goodness. But no, so. Anyways, long story short, I was in the streets for a little bit, and I quickly realized that it is dangerous. It's just like, there's interesting men, I'll tell you that, and interesting people, and it's fun, and it's, but it's like, not mischievous. It's like deceitful? No, not deceitful. That's the wrong word.
Not genuine.
There you go. That's exactly. It's not genuine.
Yeah, there's a lot about this generation that don't feel
like,
genuine to me.
But it's like fake real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And these mofos will say anything and everything, and I'm just sitting there like.
I think that's also you being on the other side though.
Of like reading, me able to read through the bullshit.
Yeah, between reading like we know like it's like talking to bro. Bro is like Big Debbie Downer energy of like, yo, I know what's on the other side of that mountain. Like, yeah, like your face is pretty, you giving me great conversation, but you about to trip about my baby mama in about like 3 months, or my kid's mom in about 3 months.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You gonna
exactly.
trip about like, and he's right though. And that's the problem with knowing what happens on the other side.
Yeah.
Right? That's why I tell my wife, because I be like, yo, like I know how certain situations is going to play out. Like I told her when we first started dating, I was like, yo, like shit cool right now. I was like, well, when he go to school, that's when we're going to have problems. Guess when we have the most problems? When he started going to school. You know what I mean? Because the times is different, right?
Yeah.
It's not just no longer just free time. What he does and what he likes to do is different.
Yeah.
And so the relationship changes. Like how we have conversation changes, right?
Yeah.
And so like the same thing with just knowing ahead. Like you just know what things are going to look like because you know the outlook.
Yeah.
Like these gentlemen, did you know that they had kids or anything already?
Yeah, I always knew. You know what? I actually had a gentleman get upset with me or say like that I didn't disclose that I had kids because I was like, in my mind, I'm thinking this and my parenting life are completely 2 separate worlds, arenas. I'm 2 different people. And so, like, you're never going to meet my kids. And anyone I met, I let them know, like, I'm not looking for a boyfriend, a serious relationship. I'm also not just looking for a fuck. Like, so.
What does that mean?
I know, right? And so. Exactly.
Like, what does that mean?
Exactly.
I don't even know.
And I had some conversations like that.
You wanted a friend.
Yeah. Like a friend that you could, like,
Yeah, I can't
have
spend
a little bit
130
of-
on my friends.
like a friend. But then, we go home afterwards and we do unfriendly things to each other.
Oh, after I proved to you I could be a good friend.
Exactly.
That's why I don't understand women. It's shit crazy.
That's perfect.
I was going to do that anyway. You can just let me do it.
That's great. No, because most men will lead. That's the other thing why I can't do it.
No, I
It's like
can't.
They lead heavy with, like, sex. Like, it's just so.
The old dudes too?
All of them. Every single man. Like,
You leave with sex, Lex?
it's so, like.
We went right back to the raunchy.
The conversation just is immediately or insinuating or quickly, and it's just like, oh my goodness.
I feel like he could make the same argument with women. Like, people are hypersexualized, period, though. Because some of the girls he had told me about, not that he was participating, I'm just saying, like, they threw it out there earlier.
Yeah.
They're a lot more aggressive than I remember.
then maybe exactly. But I'm just like, I told a few guys, I'm like, okay, I get it. You want to fuck me? Like, can you hold that thought to yourself? Like, can you go tell your homeboy? Like, can we?
But see, that's not fair, though.
Can we get through a conversation?
If you got a consistent, like thing on the side, we don't know that.
What do you mean?
Because think about, like, if I'm, all right,
If we first have a conversation and you're immediately like, within a few minutes.
Say me and my wife break up, and it's
Yeah.
been 6 months since I've had any like type of like play, and I'm ready. You
Yeah.
just meet me you meet me wherever I'm at. You don't know that I've been like downplaying ass for 6 months, so you might be catching me on a bender, right? Whereas you probably have somebody that was in your pocketbook when we first met that you already got it was 2 weeks ago. Right, our needs is different. Like you 2 weeks off of one, I'm 6 months off of one. You meet me and I'm ready to go because I've been waiting on it.
But my point is, it's called tact, and what I think that men don't understand is like you guys are sometimes idiots. I don't know what else to say. Like you would get so much more. Okay, let me not get explicit.
Yeah,
you already knew I was about to say the P word.
Yeah, you can say play.
Play. You guys would get so much play if you guys just held it. We know what you want to do to us. We know you're attracted to us. We know you're in game. Believe me, we truly do. So just keep that in your pocket and just act like a normal person. Right. Have a normal conversation. Like,
very
what's
simple.
up? Interest, funny, joke, holla. Very simple. You don't need to say what we know. When you say it, it just is distasteful. And quite honestly, it's a turnoff. Half the time I'm like, how long is it before a man is going to give me the ick? Can we get past you just saying something that doesn't ick me and gross me out so that way I can maybe decide if I even want to continue to have a conversation, let alone go outside with you?
I'm with you that at this age right now, I'm with you on that too because I feel like there's a lot of women that I meet or see or whatever like over time and I'm like, oh, like you would be cool, but would you get on my nerves? I ask myself that all the time. I'm like, oh yeah, that probably would. Like the homie was telling me the other day, or not the other day, he was telling me a few hours ago. He's like, yo, Taylor Swift ain't that bad looking. I said, look, I always think about it, if I had to ride in a car with you for 45 minutes, what are we going to listen to? What are we going to talk about? And I had decided that within the first 7 minutes that I'd already not enjoy that experience with her. So I think about shit in like that type of like that form. You know what I mean? So like I agree with you with the ick. I think it's just human beings in general because I always ask myself, why old people be alone? You won't deal with people and they fuck shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And like people letting you down, setting you up. You know, you went through a whole 50 years of like motherfuckers just talking up a good game. You like, fuck it, I do it myself. Like anything you talk about, I do it myself. I ain't waiting on no man, no woman, no friend, nothing. I'm going to by myself. So.
Exactly. So just wanted to. I'm starting anew, right? I feel like I got it off my chest, because I want to practice what I preach. So I don't want to be sitting here preaching that like, I'm decentering men, decentering romantic relationships. I'm not going to be dickmatized, distracted, da-da-da. And then, I'm 3 weeks in the shadows. Normally I would just,
Dark night over here in the shadows is crazy, in the shadow realm.
I just want to hold myself accountable. And I actually really want to commit to being celibate for at least 6 months. I'm not going to put that out there yet. I'm not ready. Does
that mean like just men or objects too?
Oh, just men.
Okay.
I mean, and women too.
Okay.
But I would still.
Yeah. You don't even have to get this. Okay. I was just wondering where we was at.
Yeah, I do. I really want to make that commitment to myself, but I'm not ready.
San Diego, right there.
I might have to.
All right, hit my hand claps, Lex. I think we got all of it. These are my confessions. I think we were finally in a good space. This week in music. So we talked about a little bit about the Super Bowl at the top half of this episode. And Kendrick Lamar performed at the Super Bowl. So I haven't heard any takes from anyone. I haven't been online. I haven't looked at any of the memes or anything to see anything negative. I came in here with clear mind, clear spirit. And we got to add the Grammys on there too, right? So I think he didn't perform at the Grammys, but he had a clean sweep. He came out there in a jean outfit I thought was crazy, right? And then he did the halftime performance. I enjoyed the performance. I don't think it was something, it was more, the production of it was really great. The dancing that he had and the dancers that he had was really great, for filling in spots. He had a very large area for the stage. But I think we all wondered the one thing, which was, is he going to perform that song? Mm-hmm. And then not only did he perform the fucking song, He looked in the camera.
He's a psychopath.
Yeah, they called Netflix for the way he looked at that camera. Say Drake. And he got the Beyonce Netflix camera from the halftime show. Ooh, I ain't seen that camera on this. They borrowed that shit, right? And they got him clear as day, just singing a song, and he's singing the verse that was just grinding him the most. And so I just felt like, yo, I've never seen nothing like this. Like the Super Bowl to do that. And I'm sure he's probably went back and forth with himself over the last few months on like what he was going to do and how he was going to do it. And then the cherry on top was Serena Williams dancing at the end. Because all the statements he had made, and then to have her in there from Compton and then bring out Mustard and everybody, I just thought that like it was a very, very nice touch of fuck you, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Wow.
So that's my take on it. West up, Lex.
I thought the Sam Jackson narration was the whole time I was thinking like, man, I wonder what Trump is thinking right now watching
Yeah,
this shit.
it was crazy that he was there too.
Because it was super pro-black. There was a lot of,
political
I can't wait till like what do they call those?
Sam Jackson
like the sleuths come out
Sam.
and they start like all the symbolism, everything, because he was wearing this chain. And I was like, is he wearing an Amazon chain?
Dave Free worked for Amazon, though, don't he? As a creative director.
Fuck, I know.
I think he does.
But I don't know. They saying that like, it could have been a minor chain or something like that. I was like, I don't know. That's a stretch. But the song selection, I think it worked out. It flowed nice. For further context, in case you don't know, the Serena Williams things is not just because she's from Compton, but that's Drake's ex. So see how she's like, oh, that shit makes a lot more difference.
I thought I said that.
She's sea-walking on a song calling you pedophile because he's constantly still talking shit about Serena.
Drake?
Yeah.
In his music?
Yeah.
Why? Did they have a bad breakup?
I guess. I mean, but that whole Common and Drake beef happened because, like, Common's also her ex. And they went back and forth over that. And then even, I believe, SZA is his ex. So they were just all there.
The tennis player.
Yeah.
And Drake.
Yes.
Yeah, about
When and for how long?
This was
7
like
years ago.
Yeah, no, it's probably like 10 years ago at this point.
Yeah, it's been a while.
They dated for like a year, a month?
I don't know what they consider dating in that world.
That's significant enough that he like makes disses about her and references
songs
to her.
about her.
Listen. It don't take much for Drake to make a song about you. But yeah, but also
he made songs about her too, like when he wanted her though.
Before,
real life.
The only issues I had were sometimes I didn't like his mic. The mic was kind of low at certain points, and it was hard for me to hear some of the things he was saying, and my subtitles was a little slow. But he wasn't just performing songs. He was throwing in like he written a little bit of new material, and he's like doing these little, because before he teased the song early on. And he's saying, oh, they want to hear your favorite song, but you know they out here suing.
That shit was fire.
I'm like, oh.
He looked dead in the camera when
you know he's going to do it.
You know he's suing. And then they played a little bit of it.
They played a little bit of it, and then they keep
fire.
it pushing. They keep it pushing. And then but yeah, that whole, I mean, people talk about Serena, the highlight of the whole thing is him looking at the camera the way he did. Like how sadistic he looks. Like he's crazy. A psycho. There's something wrong with his brain. He needs help. And
the cameraman need a raise. I don't know if that was on purpose.
It was on purpose.
Yeah,
ain't nothing.
They practiced that.
He's too cerebral. He's too cerebral for. And he's thinking way too far. I would never know.
I forgot we were watching the football game.
If he set the chessboard up, I'm just gonna knock that shit over. I'm not playing with you.
A lot of what I got from people was like, yo, it was more like, oh, I want to hear a lot of early Kendrick work. You know what I mean? But again, I think we listened to Kendrick at the Super Bowl before, just not in this capacity. Like this seemed like a big deal riding off of that. And also I think Jay-Z set this shit up after watching them at the Grammys. They was all saying A minor, clapping hands and shit. Now he on here the very next week. They set this shit up perfectly. Drake been in Australia this whole time.
I mean, do you blame him?
No, I don't blame him. You got to go where people love you. You know what I mean? Right now, you just stay away from the U.S. People say turn in your passport. Like, my friends were saying they like, yeah, you got to turn his passport at this point.
That's terrible.
But I mean, honestly, I just never seen nothing like this.
Yeah.
Like, usually people play their old music at the Super Bowl. You know, that people love and shit like that. You know,
just did his new album.
He did his new album, and he focused a lot on teasing this dude.
He did a couple old songs. Here's the thing: he's had such a big year that he can do another Super Bowl because he didn't touch on a lot of his music. And like SZA being like that, she was only out there for a second. I forgot she was coming.
Songs. Yeah, I did.
Like
too.
it was probably like halfway over. And I was like, oh yeah, ain't she supposed to be here? And then
I played the Black Panther joy you don't like.
Yeah, I know.
Who else was there? I feel like for context for our listeners, I didn't watch anything of the Super Bowl today. It was co-parenting day for me and my family. You know, my ex is not from America, so he don't care about the Super Bowl, and it worked out. So that was just a sacrifice, or else I would have watched it. So I watched none of the game, none of the halftime performance. I barely got online and just saw like a few memes. So I have seen that face. I saw a picture of Sam Jackson in like a red, white, and blue striped suit. I saw a few memes of the stare. I guess you guys are talking about the camera when he said the A minor. But other than that, you know, I have no point of reference.
Those are the highlights.
But what I want to ask is, I guess like, and this may sound silly, but I sometimes forget that song is a diss track, and that it came from a long line of beef, and that it's a really like, you know, he's accusing him of being a pedophile. And like, I want to know, like, are those like accusations like true? Is he like potentially a pedophile, or is like he just not just, because being inappropriate with young girls is not a just statement. Is he truly inappropriate with young girls? Like, what is have you guys looked into it?
There's some questionable footage out there about.
I've seen like a little clip of him with like Bobby the stranger. I've seen like a little bit of the little meme.
Oh, Millie.
The meme,
There's several of those types of situations
where he was just like friends with young girls. Like, where is
maybe
this
you're not
claim
knocking
coming
them
from?
down, but just the fact that we have like physical footage of shit to even make it a thought.
And like what? That he's just like talking to them, he's touching them, he's being flirty with them, he's hanging out with them,
I'm pretty sure.
with them.
I'm pretty sure he kissed that girl on stage. And the way he's talking to her, like, oh, you gonna get me in trouble and this and that.
Oh.
It's like real nasty behavior to where it's like, even if you didn't go all the way, I'm still rolling with the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
it's inappropriate.
It's inappropriate and then
predatory.
And the thing is, the song, the ironic part is the song was, I mean, it was big, right? It became so much bigger and lasted so much longer because of Drake. Everything he did afterwards just kept bringing it back up. And then when it finally like, okay, we'll have a little quiet period before the Grammys and everything. No, then that's when he brings out the lawsuit. And it's like, man, it's making it, and then all it does is make it number one again. And it's like, what are you doing?
Is it number one again right now?
It will be next week, I'm sure.
Track to like become like a straight banger. This is like an anthem. This is the greatest
diss track of all time.
I feel like most people are probably like me. I bet you there's a whole collective of people who don't even know it's a diss track. Like, seriously. Like, I feel like there's probably people who just think it's a song.
The only song that really got commercial, I don't know about commercial, but like,
that's
Back to Back was the song before that was like, oh, it's really difficult when you can make it a club anthem.
Yeah.
Because that's like, you can't really come back from that. And that's what he did to Meek. So for him to get a taste of his own medicine.
Oh, he did. What was his song to Meek that he did?
Back to Back.
Oh, that's what you're saying. How what's that song sound like? Can you sing a little bit of it?
I learned Back to Back. I don't know.
Is that your girl tour or world tour? Or, whatever it is.
Okay. So once a diss track has turned into that's a good way to say it, a club anthem, then it's over. Because
well, it doesn't really happen. That's why when Drake did it, it's like, damn, man, now you got to go outside and hear this shit everywhere you go.
Yeah.
It's not just like in some random dude's car.
Exactly.
It's like, no, every time I go out, I got to hear this shit. And then this one.
Can Drake come back from this? Is
Yes.
Drake putting an
Depending
album
on-
out and it,
Depends on what you mean by comeback.
Like, can
he's
he-
never gonna be Drake again.
Dang.
I'm not
You
saying
think the same?
Well, because he's also suing his label. So.
that's the
He
part.
really is?
He would have came back from this song. Everything he's done afterward is what's making it like, dude, you just don't want to
Why
come
is he
back.
suing his label?
'Cause
Well, he
feels
was
like
trying.
they're
He
doing
was trying to
defamation.
get this to not happen. He
Yeah.
didn't want it performed at
Of
the Super
course
Bowl.
not. Oh.
But then after that, when people understood that, like, okay,
Does he say his name in the song? Yeah, he
Yes.
does. He
that's
says,
when he looks
says
at
like Drake A
that's-
Block 1 or something like that.
That's when he looked in the camera. That's what made it so sadistic.
literally looked and he was
because he's
like-
just walking around in a circle. Say Drake, right? And like he's talking to him in Australia. You must be off stage by now.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
And
He literally say Drake.
That's what I'm saying. No
dead
one
ass.
does it at the Super Bowl. Like,
that's why the look in it's not just the look in the camera. That's when he
because-
decided to acknowledge the camera. He looked in there like, I'm talking.
Okay.
This is the most watched program all year long,
I'm
every
talking
year, and
ish
I'm
to
only
you.
talking to you.
That's okay.
I'm glad the people here are enjoying themselves,
Exact-
but
so-
I'm gonna have a conversation with you
so ask
right
again,
now.
how does he come back from this? Like, how does he get
Shutting
respect?
up.
How does he?
Lay low.
How does he?
He's lucky that we live in such a microwave era. This shit should have been done.
Yeah.
If he just laid low and shut the fuck up, it's his fault.
He walking out on stage with bullet holes on his back in Australia. Like,
Yeah,
bro,
man,
you're,
you're doing
you're
more.
leaning on to
And
this.
And then
like
he goes
victimizing
home
him.
and
Yeah.
he does duck lips in the mirror.
Yeah, just go, man.
It's
Has
real
he ever
goofy.
acknowledged the claims? Has he ever said like, "I'm not that. I'm not a pedophile"?
He gave him ammo.
Well, I mean,
Drake
Like,
said
has he
it.
ever said like, "I'm not inappropriate
when
with
he
girls"?
sued him, yes.
In the lawsuit.
In a lawsuit that states all the things that
He's saying,
like,
"Oh, this is
gave
all
him
lie."
anguish.
And then you're looking at him like, but Drake, you the one that told him to go with this
You
angle.
also said that, but here's the thing.
Before the
that's what
song
you-
came out, Drake said, "Go with this angle. I know you're gonna go with this
He did
angle
tell
about
him.
this and that."
He did tell him.
Kendrick was quiet and he said, "No, no."
It's almost like
I'm gonna keep
it's almost
saying
like, yo,
something."
hit me. and
That's
then
what
you
he
get
was
hit,
doing.
And you're like, dog, you asked for it.
So he was the one who brought up the notion that he was inappropriate with young girls in the
yeah,
first
he
place.
said, he said it in the song.
When like that started everything came out, Kendrick did the verse. It was a big uproar, and then Drake got mad. He thought, "I'm Drake." He starts making the diss songs.
Drake waited about a week and a half. Though.
And then while he's making the diss songs, Kendrick's being quiet. And he's like, "Oh no, you ain't gonna be quiet this time. We doing this right now."
What did
And
he say about Kendrick in the diss song?
He beats his
That he
wife.
beats his wife.
Does
that,
he beat his wife?
that his best
of us
friend
know
is
that.
really the true father of his child.
Ooh.
He was going.
Are
a
these
lot-
like things that could possibly? Are these things that are in the rumor
It
mill?
sounded good in the
But
record.
Kendrick never.
no,
but
it's
Kendrick
never been in the
said,
record.
Kendrick never said a word about it.
Never said a word.
Yeah, because you don't entertain bullshit.
That's what I'm saying. This is
Exactly.
why
I've
he
had,
was
Well, no,
there's
no.
a lot of things that I don't speak on that I've heard people say about me because I'm not entertaining shit that I
Yeah,
know is
that's-
not worth
that's
my
Well,
right.
breath.
no.
It's not true.
In the first early on, he didn't say nothing. He was just calling him short. Said he had small feet.
So then why did
whatever.
he start going with these
When
undercuts?
because and
He had mentioned his wife first. Though.
well, yeah, he's just like, hey, this is supposed to be friendly. If you take it there, I'm gonna take it further. And then Drake jumped out and took it there. So Kendrick was like, okay, whatever. That's
yeah.
why when I hear TV off, the first time I heard TV off and realized they pulled the same sample from Not Like Us, I said, this is what he was talking about. He had both of these songs ready to go,
Who's he?
Kendrick.
Okay.
And when he said, I'm gonna move based on how you respond to this. If you take it there, I'm gonna go all the way. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep it friendly.
So he literally had
I really
two
think that's what
songs that
happened.
he
I really
made,
think that's what
maybe.
happened.
And
And you
then
think he changed the wording?
No. What happened was Not Like Us was ready. That fourth, the colonizer verse at the end, that was added on afterwards. Because then remember, Drake was talking about, you always talking about freeing the slaves, and that's why there's a little bit more. It's a little more current in that fourth verse about what he was talking about. And then he just like, hey, you fucked up. When you mentioned the family name, that's taking it to where I don't want it to go. So here we go. And then the video drops, and then his girl's in the video, see walking in the living room, like, oh, she looks pretty happy to me. Now, mind you,
his wife.
yeah, mind you, if it was like, if the allegations of him hitting her are true, doesn't mean she can't be happy. So I'm not. But I'm just saying, like, hey, it's, I would like to hope that no allegation that either side said is true.
Yeah,
I would hope so.
Yeah.
But and that's the part that just makes me feel like, man, it's just this, like, the suing and everything is so crazy. Like, what do you mean? Like, you're a student of rap. Like, you've heard every diss song about, like, at least the bigger ones.
But this is
Motherfuckers
like
lie on people all the time.
like, but lie about, like, I mean, being a pedophile, especially in this climate, like,
Yeah, the
if he
climate
really
makes it hotter,
if
but
he
isn't-
really isn't, he's trying to save his reputation,
What do
his
you think is
character,
worse, though,
his
being a
brand.
pedophile or hitting your wife?
That's a really interesting question.
And I don't even want an answer for that because they're both terrible. But
Yeah.
but that's what. But our point is that you look, Drake. You didn't have to do this.
Yeah.
By mentioning this, I didn't want to stoop this low, but I can't be the only one out here.
Yeah.
You know, that's what he was telling them. Like,
And the thing is, from what Drake did outside of that AI song, he did enough to win 95% of rap battles of anybody else he got into a battle with. Because, like, Push-Ups was decent and Family Matters was good. The problem was it got stepped on 45 minutes later by a new song. And that's a way to... This is supposed to be your kill shot. You had a little video ready to go. It was cute. That's when he starts bringing in... I was like, oh, shit. But then, obviously, Kendrick heard that song before. And that's why he was ready to step on it. And it's... interesting that I'm totally losing my train of thought, but he can't. I think he's done too much to come back now, and it's probably less about Kendrick and more about the label stuff because, like, it's still a label, man. Like, yeah, I guess you could go out and be in it, but then you got to, like, distribute music. Like, you got to do business with somebody.
Most people don't know that it costs money to put music on Instagram and ads on TV.
Yeah,
and you rich enough to do it independently if you wanted to. I guess the whole point would be, like, why? Because obviously people's comments hurt your feelings,
the
and
music
that's
has to hit too.
That's
though.
never
it's a
going
bad
to go
investment
away.
if your music doesn't hit. You get what I'm saying?
And
like,
people just might not mess with them.
Well, people will listen to your music, right? But at the same clip, and are you going to spend as much as the label was going to spend? Because the label is like it's like government. They're far arching. You know what I mean? Like,
they have deep pockets.
Yeah, they have deep pockets.
And they can afford to take some L's.
Yeah, but see, a lot of places that we listen to his pods have been saying that, like, the way he's been. I feel bad for Drake. It's like kind of like the Chiefs. Right, like, oh yeah, I feel bad they lost a little bit. Man, that sucks to see Patrick Mahomes.
You just said an hour ago.
I said people would feel sad. They show you all the war
every
clips.
Single thing I saw.
I know, but now that we've been watching
I
this,
didn't feel sorry.
they keep showing the same play that he been getting killed on, right? Where he took the hands to the face, and I'm like, damn, that must have hurt. I know his body's beat up. That's the type of empathy I feel, but. It's like, well, bro, if you've been doing dick stuff, like your little brother's an asshole, your wife be on, TV acting crazy, they show us Taylor Swift all the time. I feel like you got the get out juice on Travis Kelce right now because he don't really like Taylor Swift like that. I know he likes sisters. Like, stop playing with me. I don't even know who that Travis is. He ain't got no dog in him right now. And so, like, when you see that,
they're gonna blame Taylor.
Yeah, but it's like you get tired of seeing the guy winning all the time, and that's what happened with Drake. People get tired. Look, you live long enough to where people see you as the villain. You know what I mean? And that's just what happens sometimes.
Nah, I think. Well, for me, it's less about that. I just don't think Drake should have been winning this long anyway, personally. But as far as feeling sorry for him,
That was hate.
I can't feel sorry for him.
I
I can't feel sorry for someone who was poking me first.
Yeah,
I can't feel sorry if you were saying, like he was saying, hit me. He was like, and he was doing it like in like
he was
the most arrogant ways. Like, oh no, you can't be quiet this time. You like to be quiet. No, you're gonna play this time.
He was
and
truly
it's like, okay,
antagonizing him.
No, you didn't see this man on a burner Instagram live account working out by himself in a park in the hood, doing up downs by himself. That man's a lunatic. He's not here for play. And that's exactly what happened.
Play.
He did have one dick.
And now look at he's having the biggest moment in his career off of a diss track. That's nuts. Well,
and it's never gonna go away.
Don't be poking the bear. That's the moral of the story.
That's crazy too. You know how I knew that these young kids is different? I don't know who I don't know who that is.
He looks so. The difference between him and dating, what was the beautiful black woman he was dating, Nicole or something? The outfits, the hair. He had a fade. He got what is this, a comb back right now?
Yeah, he definitely.
He don't even look like the same man.
He look older.
He does. He was fine.
He look like Matthew McConaughey, like now.
And McConaughey he got paid tonight. He was in like 4 of them commercials.
Was he? Damn.
Oh yeah, any good commercials? Oh dang,
They had a whole commercial about titties.
How do?
Oh,
wait,
they
what?
did.
What did
Hey,
you
that
just
one
say?
got me too.
It was all about titties.
Yeah, it did. It was a breast cancer
Titties?
commercial.
Yeah.
But it's
Oh,
but
But
no,
they don't tell you till the very end.
they had
They
all
was-
the men hooked in my house.
they were showing chichis.
Not like bare, but like just like men staring at them, like or girls
the
coming
camera,
out with them.
it was very clear. Like, oh no, yeah, we're showing men looking at girls' titties. We're just showcasing titties, and it's like it's very obvious. I'm like, oh
I have to
shit.
know the word titties in a minute.
Yeah.
I like that word. I forgot about that word. I call them chichis.
Okay.
What do you call them?
Breast.
You're like, you tell your wife, hey, I want to
Boobs.
look at your breast.
I don't say pull your tits out.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
What do you say? Oh, never mind. We're not having these conversations anymore. I
Saying
forgot.
that to your
I was
wife.
But
thinking-
keeping it family-friendly,
I was thinking about how I was gonna say it.
I'm like, I'm curious because, yeah.
Hey, I want to see your breasts. Like,
Yeah,
that
like, you
sounds
don't
nuts.
say that.
I just insinuate things and then just go from there. You look, you can get far away with a look.
Yeah, I mean, especially you understand.
Pull them out. You know what I mean? Like what else you gonna pull out?
Trying to suck one.
Yeah.
you know what to do.
You gotta be inconspicuous about it. Hit my hand claps.
Inconspicuous.
We're gonna do
Read
do some fun facts.
Fun facts.
I feel sorry for Drake.
I know you don't, and you've been waiting on this. That's big hate.
So you've never liked Drake?
There's a very specific Drake I like.
Yeah.
He does it like once or twice each album, and then
Okay.
most of the stuff he
If you
does.
put them
I'm
all
cool.
on one album, would you say it's the greatest album of all time?
No.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. That's us? All right, cool. It's like a raccoon.
Yeah, that scared me for a second.
Fun facts. According to data from various studies, people most commonly call out of work on Mondays and Wednesdays, with Wednesdays generally seeing the highest absence rate, likely due to the midweek slump feeling. My midweek slump feeling doesn't come on Wednesdays, actually. It comes on Thursdays.
Me too.
After I get over the midweek slump or the day, like the middle of it, Thursdays when I be like, am I going to call out tomorrow? I'm going to do Thursday. But I'm a Friday call out guy.
Okay.
Friday is my day. What do y'all call out
I'm a
day?
Monday.
You're a Monday
I
call out?
always need so I'm working with this life coach and she was like, okay, we can either do Monday. Yeah, I got a life and a mindset coach. I'm really trying to change my lives out here, guys.
You ain't never
That's why I
lied.
came here and said my confessions. I just poured out my soul. I got my coach.
Got everything.
I got my therapy. Got the Lord. All right. But I'm a Monday. So she was like, oh, Mondays is a great way to do coaching sessions because you write your goals out, you start your week strong, or Fridays right before on the weekends, sometimes people go off rail. So you have the extra motivation. She was like, when is good for you? And I was like, you know what? Let's do Tuesdays. Because I was like, Monday, I always need one extra day to catch up with the world. So I'm definitely...
Not today.
I need one extra day. So definitely a Monday person. What about you, Lex?
No days off.
Of course. I knew he was
When is the
gonna
last
say
time?
that.
Obviously
I
for
took
the
Friday
DMV
off
for
to
the
go
DMV,
get- yeah,
that's crazy. You take so why don't you take a day off? Like what is your vacation balance right now? I know
They
you
gonna
know.
have to kick me out soon.
I know, but how many hours you got? This is disrespectful.
Well,
for
I
people that
drained.
can't
I
get it.
drained a lot of hours on my transition back there last year. I took like 2 months off, but I just always knew because you don't ever take no days off. But at the time, like in my early 20s and everything, I was like, for what? Like to sit around and try to find something else to do? Like, I mean, I always got something to do, but I mean, I knew that once I had kids, there will be plenty of opportunities to have to take. So then after that,
You were thinking about that when you were young?
Yeah.
I've been prepping for a family since I was like 15.
It literally sounds like that.
Every move I've made was like, oh, why are you not doing this? Like, oh, because one day this is gonna happen. And so my goal is like, if I can just get that to that point that much quicker.
I just want you to understand how heartbreaking that just sounded.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
Because of where we're at today. The
Right,
fact that
and-
you're like that beautiful. That was such a beautiful statement as a man or person to say, like, I've been prepping my whole life for a family. But then, and then my heart felt so happy. And then immediately I thought, and I was like, my heart was
What
so
family?
broken. No, but it gave me a little bit more perspective. I feel like just that little statement gave me more insight of like you and like why you say things like I'm never gonna get over it or like you're better than us or whatever because it's so it's so deep. Like the idea of like not just like you said, like that's so important to you. You know, family, the concept, the idea, and you truly love your family so much. Obviously, you've been working for them your whole lives. Before you even met them, you loved them and you were like dedicated to them. So
yeah, I just kind of figured that's kind of what was going to happen, so I might as well just get ready for it.
I don't, you know, first man I ever heard say that.
And then, like, you know, once the kids came around, I always had to take a random day off, whether it was like a daycare calling or sick or whatever. So even when I was using my days off, they weren't like for me. They were like to handle whatever they got going on.
Yeah.
So, you know, I took a day off last month to be a chaperone for a field trip. And yeah, I don't remember last time I took a day off just to be like, I just feel like it. Like I don't remember ever doing that.
Why not do it?
I mean, I probably should.
I think like you should take off 2 days.
But also, I work at a job that taking one day off kind of fucks you.
What do you mean?
Like that one day you miss is going to take you a whole week to catch up on.
Oh,
can't you do it? You can't prepare for it.
You can, but not really.
I can't imagine that. I can only imagine that you're the only person that comes in every week, besides somebody that's above 50.
No, that's not
empty
true.
nesters.
But
empty.
Only empty nesters come into work all the time.
I mean, I'm also, but I'm probably going to do it because honestly, the way, I got to figure something out because leading into what I was talking about before, a lot of stuff happened in the last week and a half where I'm like, I got to figure out something got to change because I can't shake this feeling. And things have been happening without me like doing, I mean, not doing or saying anything, but like.
You can't shake what feeling? You're speaking a little too vague. What do you mean?
I can't shake this feeling like this.
Like a feeling, like a good feeling, a bad feeling?
No, like this depression is like on me and I'm just functioning through it.
Okay.
But it's more of a, at first I was like, man, January just been long as fuck.
Yes.
And I just tacked it up to January, but then now it's like carrying in. And then like last week, my manager just out of nowhere. Mind you, I only see her once a week.
Yeah.
And like barely see her because she being off. We just doing whatever. And then like she randomly emails me like, hey, you know you have resources, right? And like sends me all this EAP shit. And I'm like, where the fuck is this coming from?
That.
And she's just like, yeah, you just look real down. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you've only, so that started it off. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't remember what I was doing. And then obviously last week, when we had our conversation and everything, it was, is that like listening back? And I'm like, I mean, some of it's, you know, entertainment purposes or whatever, but like, yeah, there's something to it. And then my last therapy session, without us even being talking about anything, she's like, hey, you know, I can get you somewhere if you need some meds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when did I ever talk about medication?
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm just throwing it out there. And I'm like, fuck. And so I looked at that and I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
January was January, whatever. But because it's not that I'm against medication. Like, I don't judge people who take medication.
Yeah.
That's not why I don't do it.
Yeah.
But it's more of like
I didn't need it before, so why do I need it now?
I probably would needed a lot of stuff before.
What is it? I want to hear because I have my own. I want to add to this
because I don't even take Tylenol.
Yeah.
And so it's more, and it's like.
Is it more like a mental barrier?
It's like some of it's like worrying that I'm not going to be me.
Yeah.
And even though I've gotten several different anecdotes, like, oh no, that's not even true. Like that doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
It's still more like I don't want to do it.
You know, I feel like I have a big resistance to medication, to mental health medications. And I've been put on many, but on antidepressants, medication for PTSD, anxiety medication, quick, like if I'm having like an anxiety attack pill so I can take something to calm down. And I have insomnia, so I have like prescribed medicine. So, and I have struggled taking it consistently. I've struggled with the idea of not wanting to be different. I've had good effects on medication, bad effects on medication, but for me, it's this real mental block of like, I don't like to take a lot of meds either. Like, I don't want to take this. I don't want to have to do this. And I've had several different therapists give me different perspectives, and these are the ones that really helped. One was like, if you were a diabetic, would you not take insulin? And I was like, well, of course not. I would. They were like, okay, this is like your insulin for your brain. It's here to help like, maintain and like prevent you from crashing out on blood sugar, from you crashing out on what's going on upstairs. I had another therapist say, like, people think that like medication, like mental health medication, antidepressants are like a magic pill. It's not. It's like 20%. It's like 20% medication, 20% talk therapy, 80% what you're doing in your life, your eating habits, your social habits, what you're consuming online, how you're speaking about yourself, the community you're in, how social you're being. That whole 80%, the 20% is just like there. So then to add to that, I had another therapist tell me like, it just gives you a fighting chance. Like everybody, have you ever seen that like analogy where it explains like white privilege and it has those kids on the football field and it shows like, all the white kids starting at like the 50-yard line to go towards to get a touchdown, and like all the black kids are starting at 0, and that's like an analogy kind of for white privilege, just showing like, yes, we're all playing on the same field, but we're starting from different points.
Right.
So my point is that the way my therapist explained it to me is like, people that are mentally healthy, they're starting here. We're starting down here because the chemicals in our brain and the things that we're going through are not here. It's like the medication just kind of evens the playing field. It just gives you a little bit of leverage, a little bit of stability. It's if you're not doing the talk therapy, all those other lifestyle changes, you're not going to feel the difference, unless you're having like an adverse reaction and then, you're feeling worse. And that's just like trying different medications. So I think that like anybody, not just Lex, but anybody who's thinking about it or feels anxious or has reservations, like it's not a cure-all, but it is something that I would like to say gives you a fighting chance. And it's worth trying. And it's not a pair of shoes you just put on and it fits. It's like you have to try multiple times. And so you need to go into it with that idea, not thinking like, I'm going to start taking this. Ooh, I'm going to feel better one day. It's like, no, you got to start taking it every day at the same time for 1 month. See how it feels. Oh, I feel this, I feel that, and then adjust accordingly. But I think like just even noticing like, I'm in this depressive episode. I'm not coming out of it. That's how I felt in January. I was like, I'm under. Like you said, you're like, I'm just maintaining. I was like, I'm not. And I knew that if I carried on the same way that I was doing things into February and on, that I would become suicidal again. I would become entrusted into my depressive episode and start doing all the things that I do. And I was already, like I told you guys, I was on my creep shit. I was in the shadows because I was depressed, because I was sad. I've told you guys, I use men like people use alcohol or drugs or sex to feel better, you know what I mean? And so I felt myself, so I was like, That's why I had to come out here and be like, nah, I've been not doing what I said I was going to do. That's why I had to get the life coach, something I've been wanting to do, because I've never had anybody hold me accountable my whole life. Nobody. I've been out here by myself, raising myself. That's why I had to get on the phone call with my therapy clinic and see, okay, where can I get back into therapy? Like, because I'm like, we can't do things differently if we're not doing things differently. Like you can't expect change if you're taking the same approaches, and they have to be like drastic.
Like, I feel like, bro, like, and I say this, with all due respect. I feel like you don't do a lot of things for you anymore. You did things for you back then, even though you say like, I knew I was gonna have a family, but that was because you knew that like, hey, look, I'm gonna be a part of that scenario. I feel like now, like when I talk to you, there aren't a lot of things that you really do for you. Like if you were still going to concerts once or twice a week, or they were happening, I'd be like, all right, that makes sense. You know what I mean? He's still making time to go do these things on his own. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or if you was going over like people's houses and shit a lot more often, you know what I mean? It seems like outside of football season, you ain't got nothing else to do.
Well, here's the thing. Well, to finish up what I was saying before, I told her, all right, if I go through all of February and I'm still in the haze, maybe I'll give it a shot. But because I see it, and it's like, man, because it just feels like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing.
You are, exactly.
And I feel like I haven't progressed at all. Even though I see receipts.
You've progressed.
I'm like, I see the receipts. Like, obviously that's not true.
Yeah.
but I can't shake the feeling of just feeling like it's stuck.
Yeah.
Even on Friday, like
Yeah.
I'm on my way over there and I'm just like, I've been waiting a year and a half to get this thing back.
Yeah.
And I'm not really that excited about it.
Yeah.
Because all I'm thinking about is, well, shit, just because I got it, I can't really afford to drive right now. And so it's just like, fuck, like I'm stuck. And, you know, the universe will show or say something to where I'm just like, yeah, that's motherfuckers is testing me. And I'm realizing also there's also a part where it's like I'm kind of starting over in a sense to where even though it's been a couple years now, it's like I'm starting over again grieving. Because so much has happened in the past couple years. And I've been so busy and or distracted that now that, you know, when we first broke up, I was still drinking. And so there was that. And then I stopped drinking. But then I had a girlfriend. Now I don't have either. And so now it's like, shit, I'm really in here.
Yeah.
In the thoughts. Still, I'm doing the work. But it's like, fuck. And then, you know, the kids, every now and they'll say something. I'm like, fuck, I wish I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's like, fuck. Like, and the thing is, I'm still doing, like, I'm going to a wrestling event at the end of the month. I've been at you know, I've been out to a couple people's houses.
Yeah.
Recently.
Good.
And just hanging out, being uncle, doing the kid shit.
Yeah.
And so it's not like I'm not doing stuff.
Yeah.
But
it sounds like you're just finally starting to process. Like you said, you were going through so much, going through the motions. You had these different kind of hunches, these different distractions, and now you're really kind of for the first time sitting in it. And like you said, you're really grieving that. And it is a mourning. It is a grieving. And I think that, like, the fact that, one, that you're able to acknowledge it and say it is, like, huge because it's easy to suffer in silence. And that's not something that we should ever do. And then just even being like, you know, I always say people don't, because you're not just sad, Lex. Like, you know, I want people to understand, like, experiencing a depressive episode is not the same thing as just saying, I feel depressed. I'm just sad. I'm just having a rough spot. I just can't, you know, get out of it. No.
Yeah, it's an overused term. Like, people don't really understand what it is.
People don't fake depression. They fake being okay. And it's a lack of chemical imbalance. It's these deeper things that it's not just a matter of like, I just want to feel better and I'm a sad fuck and I'm feeling sorry for myself. It's literally when you experience these traumatic things in your life and dog, you had some back to back, you know, losing the license, the DUI, going to jail, the breakup of your family, the breakup of the relationship with your girlfriend. These things are traumatic and you've been taking them like 50, bang, bang, bang. Okay. Like shot after shot. And now you're sitting here finally and you're like, wowzers. First of all right, I'm alive. Thank God. Okay. But now what? Right? And so, like, you're over here fighting for your life, dog, and you don't give yourself a lot of grace. You're doing great. And I think the fact that you're even open-minded enough to be like, maybe I should lean into these signs from the universe saying that I've done all I can do. What other extra supports can I lean on? And one of those possibly being medication. Whether you do medication or not, I'm just excited that you're like, okay, what else can I do to support me to get out of this so I don't stay in this place? Because you don't deserve to feel the way you're feeling and it's not your fault. And
well,
I'm
also more open to it now because if it starts to affect the kids seeing me,
yeah,
then it's like, all right, I can't have them out. Y'all need to be 6 and 9.
Yeah.
Y'all don't need to be worried about like this adult shit.
Yeah.
And so if they see me and I had to explain to them like, hey, because they're just like,
they could feel
what's
it.
wrong?
Oh.
And I was like, fuck, because honestly, sometimes, like, especially in January,
yeah,
at least once a week, I would just start crying out of nowhere for no reason at all.
It's heavy. Yeah.
And then, however many weeks ago it was, like that happened, I had to sit there and go, oh, let me explain something to y'all. Sometimes dad gets sad
Yeah.
and I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's not anything y'all are doing.
Yeah.
If it's y'all, I will let you know.
But what like powerful conversations as a man to have with your sons, to be like, look, sometimes dad gets sad and he fucking cries, and like it's not you, and it's okay. You're not a bitch. You're not a weenie. You're not a pussy. Like, I think like that level of vulnerability, like you said, of course you want to wrap it up. You don't want to be a sad shit in front of your kids all the time. I have a lot of conversations with Jaylee about my mental health. You have to be transparent with them so they understand, you know, but also like just being able to be vulnerable and your children seeing that like, that goes far beyond what we can even say. It normalizes, it allows your children to feel like, oh, okay, I'm sad and I can cry and it doesn't need to be a reason why. You know, versus like bottle that stuff up and they hold it in and your boys are like crying in the closet because they don't know that it's okay to cry sometimes just because you're sad. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I got that out early because like we do a lot of emotional regulation.
Yeah.
And so
I know you do. I think it's
because
great.
they go through like they're trying to handle how to regulate themselves and when to do what, and it's more like okay, but then also I tiptoe this fence of like okay, it's nice being someone's hero and they think you're fucking Superman, but also it's kind of not realistic for them to hold that that viewpoint. Because if I'm the example that they're going to try to be and they think I'm this way, then when they don't measure up to it in reality, it's going to hurt them. So I had to let go of that Superman persona. I was like, hey, this shit ain't easy.
Yeah.
And so every time I'm being more vocal about when I'm not visually dealing with stuff because they mimic what they see, right? And so I'm very calm and collected most of the time to where I can be annoyed, irritated, but it's like, hey, I'm not having an emotional outburst about it. But they don't know that. They only know the blow up. And because, you know, mom's a little bit more emotional than I am. So when she gets pushed to the edge by these kids, it's gonna be so
Same.
A lot of their reaction comes from what they see on that side. So I've been trying to be more vocal where it's like, oh shit, like they don't know I'm actually processing this because I'm not saying nothing. I don't look like I'm processing something. So it's a lot more work. It's a lot more words, and I don't really like that. But it's more like, hey,
so
I'm like irritated right now about this, and that.
Yes.
But this is how I'm dealing with it. I didn't yell at nobody. I'm not screaming. I'm not crying. I'm not punching stuff. I'm not destroying stuff.
Yes.
I'm just here thinking about it like, okay, how are we going to change it? What can I do to help y'all get out?
That's so crazy because I grew up where that's how everything was. I grew up in nothing but violence. And so literally I had no relationship skills, and I saw that you handled conflict, or when you were upset, you yelled, you screamed, you cried, you hit, you threw stuff. Like, so, you know, in my family, like, as we're trying to recover through everything we've been through, we are like practicing all the self-regulation we can get, and as I'm trying to learn that emotional intelligence, I'm trying to teach it to my children as well. When I'm in those moments where I'm getting overwhelmed and I'm like, enough! Like, you know, I'm like, oh my God, I've done the breathing, I've done the counting, and I've done all the gentle parenting, I've done the breathing, and I've lost it, you know? But every time we do that, we are just demonstrating to our children the opposite of what we want from them. And that's been my biggest takeaway is like, I can't keep trying, like, I can't tell my children stop having meltdowns if they see me have meltdowns. You know what I mean? Like, and so I'm really trying to like get to that point where in those moments, I mean, and you know, I have twins and they're 2.5, and I'm pretty sure both are on the damn spectrum, to be honestly. But one's just one, one's the other. My daughter has ADHD, so we're a neurodivergent family. And I've been taught no skills. So I've had to learn them. And I'm just always trying to, like, not go off the deep end, not considering all my life circumstances and just the stress that I carry along with me in life. I feel like I'm just a teapot, like, at all times ready to the steam to blow. And so learning the skills of like how to like calm myself down while trying to calm my children down is gnarly. And then while trying to teach my children how to to calm themselves down so they don't avoid the meltdowns. Like, but it's worth it. And I can see the difference in like just preparing my children with affirmations and breathing and counting and like you said, talking them through it. Like, I'm upset right now, but instead of doing this, you see that I'm over here breathing, trying to do this. Because it's not common. Like, I don't know, unless you have it modeled in your family regularly, these are not like common things. Like, I don't know. People aren't just born with these skills. We actually have to like teach them to our children. What about you? Like,
no, but it's also kids aren't going to listen to what you say. They're going to do what they see.
Exactly. But that's
so you can sit there, hey, breathe, take a break, do this and that. But then when something happens to you and you blow up, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. But I think it might be a combination of both, because you're right. The number one thing is they're going to mimic what they see. But if they're seeing, like you said, dad is stoic, dad knows how to be calm, cool, and collected, but they don't know that you're actually irritated, that's why you've gotten to that point where you're like, oh, I actually have to tell them that I'm bothered right now and I'm managing my emotions so they know that I'm not just, this doesn't just come natural, you know? So it's like, I think we need both. We need to be able to, first and foremost, mirror what we want our children to do. But then I'm a big advocate. We actually have to have these conversations. We can't just assume that they know what's going on. I feel like we have to break it down. And because you are a human, the blow up is going to happen. But it's like, damn, now I got to have another conversation to talk about
every time.
What dad need to do a little differently.
No, literally every time.
Because there's going to be a point where it's like, all right, yeah, the blow up has to happen. I know this other shit working. I need to get this handled right now. Yeah. Blow up.
Debrief.
Talk about it afterwards.
Apologize. Debrief.
Because you know, if I blow up, it's serious.
Yeah.
Like, it's different. Like, oh, he don't do that all the time. Shit, this might happen. And I see that too. Like, I see these kids. Like, we've been taking this flag football season. We've been taking some ass whoopings, some bad ones. And you
guys went from champions to losers.
I have no idea what's going on.
I didn't call the kids losers. That was me.
And then it's just like the kids are, you know,
it's the same kids.
They don't want it. It's like half of our team, but it's a talented bunch. But I just see them anytime they make a mistake, they're so hard on themselves.
The other one was tackle.
Yeah.
So maybe they're
crying about everything. Like, they throw an interception, they go straight to crying. It's like, man,
like actually crying.
Yeah,
like tears, upset.
They make a mistake, and it's just straight. They beat themselves mentally.
Maybe you guys need to have a practice with emotional regulation.
Well, no, it's not happening to G.
Well, because you're literally walking him through how to emotionally regulate himself.
I sat there on Friday and was like, damn, like, we got smoked. All the kids are crying every fucking turn. And I'm like, yo, put G in. Like, he's not going to cry about this shit. He might not be as talented as him, but he's taking himself out the game. He's not there. He's so far in his head, it don't matter how good he is. He's gone.
He can't even play, yeah.
G might drop the ball. He going to get right back up. Because I'm always preaching short-term memory. Let it fucking go. No one's going to remember this shit. And the thing is, as coaches, we don't care about the flag the same. This is just to stay in shape for
That's
next
what I'm
season.
saying. Maybe the kids aren't winning or taking
no, that's not what it is.
They're not taking it.
That's not what it is.
Okay.
No,
I like that. What'd you say? Short-term memory?
Short-term memory.
That's a good, like, little
all the time.
tool
Anytime
kit.
these kids they drop the ball, and it's like, that was a game-winning Super Bowl kid. Like, no one gives a shit about this.
Nah,
let it go.
I'm using that for life. Every time I make a mistake,
I'm letting them know, like, hey, y'all haven't lost in months, in a long time. You guys have to learn how to do this correctly. Otherwise, you will not go back to being as dominant as you were. And if you guys can't handle one little loss, then how are you going to handle someone who's actually good? And, you know, I was proud about what G did, at least emotionally, in the game.
Yeah.
And the other kids, it's more like, even the little speech after the game, he was like, all right, y'all, we ain't doing this shit next year.
Coach is all defeated.
The whole thing, we ain't coming back. Every dad was like, yeah, we ain't doing this shit. We'll see y'all in August. And the coach was like, enjoy the Super Bowl. Y'all didn't want to be here tonight. Whatever. I ain't wasting my time with this shit no more.
You know?
So Tuesday will be interesting. But
Jeez.
But yeah, I'm done. I feel like I've been talking too much past 10, 20 minutes.
No. What was I talking
Number 2.
Oh, we were doing fun facts.
I'll let y'all rock out too. I didn't even fight it. I was like, look, pass the torch, let them have it. Sit on the bench, take these minutes.
Shit. I did that. I did that to fun facts.
No, fuck, hey.
I did that.
All these are trauma.
Look
inducing.
at that was.
They're all going to do
go.
that. That's why I let it go.
Somebody needed
You
to
tried
hear
to set
it.
me in. I said, don't do it. Don't.
I wanted, you see?
Because you weren't going to get to that piece. The average person spends about 90,000 hours at work over their lifetime. Roughly 1/3 of their life.
Him.
Yeah, that's right.
It is.
1/3 sleeping. Whew.
It don't have to be that way, though.
It don't have to be that
It
way.
don't.
Exactly.
Hey,
You can spend
And it
like...
shouldn't.
I don't know if you
You can
know.
spend like 26% and have 7% off.
My
you see
my-
that?
No,
That's the
immediately.
programming right there that you got to change right there.
my overhead is too high. I need to be spending
Bro, you don't have
more.
to spend money.
You have
What
one
you mean I
You
don't
have
have
life.
money?
vacation.
Huh?
You have vacation hours. You should look. You
The
know,
work
you know what
can
else?
wait. You only have one
You're
life.
You're not gonna even get overtime next week. It's President's Day. I know. So you might as well. Why not take out that Tuesday
Because
and
I have to
Wednesday?
I have to take a day off to go to TJ
When? You,
that same week.
So they gonna tell you no on multiple days when you work at a sweat factory. They gonna let you out. Bro, got all these benefits, but don't use it. Master said.
No, I've been using a lot of my benefits lately.
Huh?
I've been using a lot of my benefits.
I hope so. Use the
I hope so.
benefit of.
Because every time I get my therapy bill and it shows like the copay, it tells me how much she charging. This hoe is crazy.
Number 4, work is one of the leading causes of stress for
She
adults,
doesn't listen. You're there,
with
bitch.
common factors including workload, deadlines, and job security.
Wait, I missed the first half. I'm sorry.
Work is one of the leading causes of stress for adults, with common factors including workload, deadlines, and job security. Fucking right here.
Literally.
No, but actually my
Because
job...
you even got afraid of the deadlines right now when we was talking about,
If I miss
if
one
I miss
day.
one day, then, I'm going to fall behind. Well,
But
that shit
it's
going to
less
be there.
about deadline and just more about like how much it sucks catching up. My job is actually... Let me not say that. Half of the office is completely losing their mind and the most stressed out all day, every day, and it fucking sucks.
They think about that shit right
The
now,
other half of the office that has better
Sorry,
caseload management,
things.
the job is actually kind of it's low stress compared relative to how hard the work can be. If you have your good time management, then the stress doesn't have to be that high. To where when overtime comes, it doesn't feel like, oh, I gotta put in all this extra work, for a little bit of extra money. It feels kind of like free money. And I mean, you're working for it, but like you're not adding a ton of stress. And with the flexibility there to where like, hey, I can be at all my kids' practices. I can do this. I can do that when I need to, because it's not one of them high pressure, there's deadlines here and there. Yeah, people get on you about like soft deadlines, but there's no hard like, oh, if you don't do this and that, like, you know what I mean? So if you have good time management and caseload management, it's not that bad at all. And so like work don't really stress me out. Maybe once a quarter where I'm having a little like, all right, man, let me recalibrate. But my day to day, like I'm chilling most of the time.
Let me ask you this. When are you the most productive working?
I would say either super early in the morning.
Okay.
So like maybe
First
between,
walking in?
like
First
4.
3 hours.
Oh, you mean like in work or in life? In work?
And work.
Oh, okay. Ooh, no. I'm probably the most productive. Definitely the second, more towards the second half. It takes me a while.
Like right before lunch?
Exactly. It takes me a while to like get settled in. Like, can you imagine me walking into the office? Like I'm talking, I'm saying hello.
I would think you would run out of gas.
It would take me, it takes me a little while to kind of like sit down and be like, okay, focus. Like,
That's a good point.
Sit down and focus, bitch. Get it done.
Research suggests that workers are most productive mid-morning and experience a slump after lunch.
Yeah, that's
You slump after lunch?
oh, absolutely.
Oh,
You got a
absolutely.
good 3 hours out of me.
I do all the hard shit the first
There you go.
3
There's
hours.
the video right there. I'm telling you, you got that good camera. Look how you dancing on it with the red, white, and blue. There's a lot of symbolism in there.
I keep forgetting how much he be dancing.
Yeah,
He a dancer.
Look at there she go.
Is that?
That was Serena. SZA look crazy with all
Who
this
else did he bring out
upgrades that she got.
besides SZA? Any other musical?
No,
Okay.
Uncle Sam.
Yeah, it feels like a very
That's exactly what I wanted him to do. I didn't want him to share this with nobody.
Yeah,
I'm mad that SZA was out there. Honestly, I wanted him to just, hey, this is your moment. Do it.
Nice to give a little love to another artist.
No, it was nice. I'm just saying I didn't need it.
Lex probably blowing this one out the water. In the U.S., the average worker spends nearly 27 minutes commuting one way to work daily.
Fam.
You like I said.
Oh yeah, 2 hours. 2 hours there, 2 hours back.
Yeah, Randy Moss is back in here. There we go. Good.
I've had long commutes before. It's just, for me, what it is as I think about how much time it adds to your day. You're like, okay, normal work day is 8 hours, but by the commute back and forth, that's now, 2 hours? If you're doing 2 hours both ways, now you're adding 4 extra hours. When I lived in the Valley, and I was living in Tulare, and I was working in Cutler and Rosie, but I was going to school in Fresno, and sometimes I was going to both of those places and then back in one day. That was adding sometimes 3 to 5 extra hours on top of a day full of going to school and work and or both.
This is where I would say the popularity of podcasts and talk radio.
Where we live on the commutes.
It's on the commute.
We're here for your commutes, folks.
Yeah, for the most part, that's crazy too. Say Drake.
Dude,
that's Bill Belichick girl right there. She young too. Say Bill.
He was 40 when she was born.
Yeah, that's wild. Real nasty teens.
Do you think like
I'm not even gonna hate on him though.
Nah,
you know what I mean? Do you think they like she be
he take 2 of them blue pills.
Yeah, he be.
No, so she's letting, you know what I'm trying to say? We're trying to keep it friendly, but you think that they're.
Yeah. He need a little assistance though, for sure. He's definitely.
How do you do that? I don't
the
know.
rhino.
You just close your eyes the whole time.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
That might be her thing though.
You know what? You're absolutely right.
People, I'm not gonna kink shame
I'm
people.
not gonna
They probably got
shame.
a grandpa thing,
That's true.
Yeah.
I like a daddy.
Dave?
Feeling. Let me be quiet.
It's wild out here. But yeah, hit my hand claps. We'll do one more and we'll get up out of here. Damn. We ain't such a heavy pod when we don't talk all the time. So there's a few things that we ain't talked about.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna save that one. It's cool. Read them a week.
Okay.
I have 2 kids, John, who is 13, and Kelsey, who is 11. My daughter Kelsey has always been a tomboy and prefers hanging out with her older brother and my husband. My husband's only sister is a single mom and recently moved out of state with her son, Michael, who is 12. My husband has been talking about planning a guys trip this summer with John and Michael. While my husband was discussing this with John, I could see Kelsey looking visibly sad because she wasn't included. Men only. Later, I told my husband that Kelsey should go too and that there's no reason to exclude her. And he just wants some guy time with his son and nephew and that men need to have their own time away from women. I took offense to that comment, which led to an argument between us. This was wrong. I told him that Kelsey needs to go, otherwise I won't approve of money being taken out of our family vacation budget to exclude some of our family. My sister-in-law texted me saying I'm being controlling and ruining a good experience for the boys by being petty. I told her I'm not being petty. I just don't want my kid feeling left out. Am I on the wrong?
This is a good one.
Now, the reason why I'm going to say that, look, the man time thing is a real thing.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's not to say that he couldn't go on any trips with his daughter. He just has to figure out what it is that he and his daughter would do. There isn't a guy's trip where they bring women. I'm just sorry. It just doesn't happen like that. It now becomes a family vacation. So the male bonding thing is a big deal, right? So I feel like just like the women bonding, you guys have salon days and shit like that, or I don't know why y'all don't do multiple days, but I would champion it. Y'all want to spend 3 days together, please. Let me
trying to get her out the house.
Yeah, and preferably do it on the weekday because he ain't gonna be here anyway. Go ahead. I want to be alone. I want to know what it's like to be alone in my house sometimes. That's a real thing. I get it. You don't want to be alone. You know what I mean? And you, it's you probably don't want to be alone either.
Oh no, I want to be alone.
Yeah, man. I just need a few hours. Just let me miss you.
Yeah. You sound like such a man right now.
I'm serious though. Just let me miss you for a little bit. We hang around each other now like old people. So it's like, yo, like just go, like for 5 or 6 hours.
My ex.
Just go.
Cause I be gone. And then when I try to give her that day, she don't know what to do with it. Start watching TV shows and shit. When the fuck you start watching TV? So, I think that I get where she's coming from. I think that part of what she's doing though is what's wrong with our society. Like now is like we keep trying to be inclusive in certain things. It's okay to allow certain things to, continue because those are the things that we need. If I didn't like spend time with like, other men in terms of like fellowship every week, I'd have some issues.
Yeah.
That's why the golf thing is cool because you're going to run into a few people that's cool with you. So, yeah. What do you think?
I think it's interesting, and I think this literally is like one of my worst fears because I have boy-girl twins.
Yeah.
And for me, gender is a big thing. Like as far as like, I don't like to gender things. I always say clothes don't have gender, color doesn't have gender, toys don't have gender. Like, that's something that's really something that I actually talk a lot in my family raising my children because I don't want my children to be limited by their gender and whether that's what they wear, what kind of job they want to have, what kind of experiences they have. Like, there's part of reasons why I went to Barber College. There's part of the reasons why I intentionally put my daughter into things like surfing. I just got her a longboard because I'm trying to make sure that she's not pigeonholed into what her gender might typically say. So with all of that being said, I always wonder, like, I want to make sure with my twins, like, I always thought, like, God was kind of testing me because he was like, okay, we're going to see, like, how much this gender thing really means to you. We're going to give you a boy and a girl to raise at the same time. Let's see what you do, girl. Like, and so, I'm constantly taking into consideration, like, those ideas, but then also trying to find ways where I can honor my daughter's femininity, I can honor my son's masculinity. And as I learn more and more about men, I absolutely believe that men need their own spaces. And I think that, like, I can understand where her mama bear is, but this is a matter of, like, finding some kind of middle ground. We're not going to take away money from the family. We're not going to take away access from the family vacation fund. Like, come on. He's still taking your son and his nephew. But what we're going to do is maybe, like, find a way, some kind of common ground. I think the guys need their guy time, and we need to honor and respect that. But then there needs to be a trip or maybe a day, like, where she gets to hang out with the boys, too. And she gets to maybe tap into their world because that's the thing. It's not just about like, okay, well, we're going to go do this vacation and then baby girl, I'll take you on a spa day. What if she wants to go fishing? What if she wants to go hiking? What if she wants to go do whatever? Like me, I love to shoot guns. I love to ride motorcycles. I love to shoot pool. Like these are quote unquote more masculine hobbies, and so like, I don't want to go to the spa. Like you're like your wife, go to the spa, bitch. I got a free day. Let's go to like K9, K1 racetrack. Like let's go shoot. Like I want to do different things, and so I think that like not necessarily even being like, well, let's do this separate, more girl-like activity with you, but it's like, okay, well, where can we allow the guys to have their time, but then allow an opportunity for our daughter to experience some of that time with them as well. So. Yeah, I think that she's, I don't know if she's being petty. I think she's being protective of her daughter. I think that she's just not taking the right approach and that she should support her husband, but then also find a way to have her daughter's needs and wants honored as well.
Can your kids go on a girls trip?
What?
Can your kids go on a girls trip?
A girls trip?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I mean, this is a guy's trip. Can they go in the reverse? Because I think the underlying story here with this one, she has a boy and a girl. That's why I flipped it on you. But I think the underlying story is that their daughter may grow up and like be part of the community. I didn't want to say it, but what I'm saying is, yeah, but I'm saying like, would you like if my daughter was like, yo, I want to go on a guy's trip? I don't know. Yeah, I'm very supportive of the community and everyone there, but I don't know I will let you go.
But what do you mean? Like if the boy, let's a guy's trip. Like the guys, like we're all going. Well, I was like golfing, but your daughter golfs.
No, but in this
like,
same, yeah, I seen this in a TV show. Like the daughter wanted to work at the firehouse with the dad.
Yeah.
And like it changed the dynamic of like the jokes he wanted to get off. It changed the dynamic of like
well, yeah. Your daughter's in this space.
But even the guys were like, "Yo, why are you acting like this?" Because he was trying to like front, you know what I mean? Like make sure you guys are clean and presentable. And she's like, "Yo, y'all can fart, talk, whatever, do all that shit in front of me." And they were like, and they grew up with her. So she, you know what I mean? Like the firemen grew up with her. So it's like, yo, this changes the dynamic.
Exactly.
So I let's have a conversation. We deep enough in the pod right now, right? So now I feel like a little brave. there be times. How am I gonna say this? I'm gonna say it. I feel like you struggling in the beginning of this pod. There be times where people who identify as something like whatever they want to be, where I'd be like, yo, I don't know if I fully accept this within my circles. Like I could treat you in the same vein because I don't know how you're going to take it. So, for example, like how you said, oh, your daughter and you taking her there. Like, I was like, yeah, even if my daughter, let's say if she was tomboyish. And it's like, yo, you acting like one of us, but you're really not one of us. It's almost like when we talk about people coming into any culture trying to act like they part of that culture. It's like, bro, we know you're not part of that culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel the same way about that. Not that I won't accept that you want to be different, right? From whatever a norm is. I'm just saying that my reaction to what you're displaying, I don't have any security in that to continue on my behavioral patterns. I don't know if that makes sense, but what I'm saying is like, if I identified as a woman, let's say, right, and I walked into the bathroom.
Oh God, not the
you get what I'm saying?
Combo.
Like, yo, that looks crazy, right? And I'm not saying like don't do it. What I'm saying is that I expect people to look at me like, yo, what the fuck is this? If I came in full beard, but I still like dressed like I was part of, or if I was a woman, I would expect people to like, yo, what the hell is this? So like, I look at it in that same vein. If it was someone that was identifying, let's say as a male and they wanted to come to all male circles, I'm like, yo, something, I'm not saying that like, I'm not with it. I'm just saying that there's something off with this that I don't feel secure. And continuing with my demeanor as I would fake it. In terms of like, oh yeah, because I don't know. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying a little bit?
Yeah. I think that like, I'm trying to follow you a little bit, but I think what I'm taking away from is that bigger picture, not getting caught into that niche, is that when we have a community and we add somebody who's maybe outside of that community, it changes the dynamic. So even like when I say when I'm not here, the pod is different.
Exactly.
It changes the dynamic.
There, yes.
We've figured it out. The jokes are a little bit different. It's you guys are able to get it off with each other without my presence. You don't have to be mindful of certain things.
There's a word.
You can say certain things.
Right.
It's gonna fly. No one's here to, you don't have to be respectful because at the end of the day, I'm still a woman.
Yeah, like you would hate group chat Lex.
Oh my God, I couldn't imagine.
Like group chat
That's
Lex.
why sometimes I always say like on my Instagram, I'm like, I don't know if I love Lex or hate him. Sometimes I'm so like, he's the best, and other times I'm like,
luckily I've deleted my chat
out of your mouth, Lex.
Several times because the megabytes got too high, but like.
So yeah, it does. There is like, and that is why it is important for communities, whatever communities, to have those spaces. But I think that like what it is about is like not alienating. So yes, let's preserve certain spaces for, on this instance, an all males vacation. Let's preserve certain spaces where, we can say that like this is our community and all of us with these commonalities and goals and similarities, we're just gonna focus on ourselves. But I think that like it's still important, like I said with like my daughter. So if like this was my kids and the guys were going, I'd be like, okay, go, great. By the way, next week, next month, whenever we can afford it, Magic wants to go. I don't care. Like you're taking her. Where'd you guys go? You guys went and did that? She wants to do it? Go take her. It's not a matter of like her like trying to like perpetrate, like, or like her be one of, or assimilate, or like, you know what I mean? It's just a matter of like wanting that experience. And if they want that experience, I don't know why we would deny anybody an experience,
Yeah.
So.
And Yeah. You're right.
No, but I hear you too. There is something sacred, and I'm not going to speak on anything.
I also don't think that the people that's the thing though, right? Yeah, you're right. But I also think that the people that I'm talking about, I don't think they want to assimilate with us anyway. You get what I'm saying? Like, I may say that, like, yo, I don't think that they really want to hang, because like that, I'm thinking of specific examples of people that I know, that are part of that community. They don't give a fuck about whatever I'm talking about. Like, they have their own group where they can be themselves with, like, at the same time. So, like, you know, again, I know that came across as maybe like an asshole statement, but I'm saying that like in a turn, and I'm saying it in a way where it's like all these groups, even my boy that, you know, identifies as being gay, right? He don't hang out with straight males all the time.
Yeah.
That when he's talking about his homies, they all be, girl, you know, with straight energy. Not that straight energy, but I mean, like, they got that type of energy all day long. So it's just like, all right, that's who they want to hang with. You know, they identify with that.
And that's the perfect way to say it. So that's who they want to hang with. But if one day they, like you said, sometimes he comes and he hangs out with you and your straight friends.
And that's why I tell him, I'm like, yo, you acting like my wife right now. I be telling him, like, yo, why you act like we married? Because the way
that
you
would be
talking.
like telling him, like, oh, no, you can't come hang out with us straights because you're one of the gays.
No, I just tell him, no, you know what he likes to say? You know, I think I'm gonna mess with a girl. Shut up. Like, stop it. You don't. Stop. Like that. I can imagine you getting to the big game and not being able to perform. You know what I mean? Like, stop playing. Oh, she wants me. No, she don't. I remember when we went out, I ain't gonna say where because I don't want to pinpoint it. But like, we went out and he went to go grab like some girls to go talk to for the other guys that was there. And I couldn't tell the difference between him and them. There was a moment where they was all clutching the bag, and he had his little clutch in his hand. I said,
you were done.
I was like, yo, we out of here. Go ahead, my hand class. I'm trying to tell you, he was in there.
I couldn't tell the difference.
I couldn't tell the difference.
He was with his people.
He was in there. He looked like he came with them.
And imagine if they were like, you're a boy, you can't come over here.
No, they was being like,
no.
But in his mind, he was reading like, oh, they was, because he got mad at one of the gentlemen that like he was like, oh, he sharked me. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. That girl knew from out the gate. You was playing. 3 cheers. Listen, I don't want to cheers this. I want to bring awareness to this because I've also had people that I work with that this has affected too. The border shit is out of hand. You know what I mean? In terms of like ICE, like I be getting calls from people that, one, there's places like Border Patrol out in Temecula, that one spot over there on your way to Huntington Beach and everything. Like, these places have not been active like in 5 years.
Exactly.
And now to see that, like, yo, they got this full-on border enforcement going on, and then you got Elon Musk with the whole Doge thing and everything else. I know we make the Tesla jokes. I traded that bitch in this week.
When I literally,
Yes.
dude, I was waiting. I got here before him, and he pulled up, and I wasn't sure. I was like, Carl, and he popped out, and I said, you got rid of the Tesla? He was like, I couldn't do it. I was like, amen.
I couldn't.
Amen.
For 2 reasons, right? I didn't tell anyone this. I did tell you this. I said it in passing, but I think people thought I was joking. I was out in Rancho San Diego, bro, and you know I like going to the gym in that area, and I get on a 1-lane road and somebody hop in the lane, like they were playing chicken with me, and like I'm looking at bro in his face. Now I know it wasn't because I was black, because he couldn't tell if I was black because the sun was behind me, right? It's just like anything else, you can't see, the mirror's dark, right? It's like taking a photo. So I knew he couldn't see me, but he jerked into my lane, and he didn't look scared. And then I hit my brakes, go off to the right a little bit, and he got out the lane and he looked calm. And I was like, yo, I said, one, I probably ran into the one Democrats in East County, right? Or number 2, they just not fucking with him, and they like the truthful, you know, the purebred Republicans that don't fuck with the nonsense. I don't know.
The purebred
the purebred joints,
like
the evangelical joints.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, like I gotta get up out this motherfucker, man. And everywhere I go, like I feel like I'm living in like a time capsule of like what life should be looking like, and like, you know, like, but we're in the dark days of life, you know, like the shit that we're not supposed to be seeing. So, but yeah, like I got people that I work with, man, that are maybe DACA, right? They're not fully, you know, citizens yet, or they're here on like, you know, they're here working and they've been here for forever and they claim, you know, asylum here. I just feel like they keep going after the Latinos though. Right? There's a lot of people here that y'all can go after instead of just them. You know what I mean? They talking about getting rid of birthright citizenship. They've been saying that. I believe them. They got rid of cancer research yesterday. They fired a bunch of people. Look, this is what y'all motherfuckers wanted though, right? And I'm saying that to mobilize people because we have 3 years, 3.5 years to get our act together.
Yeah.
Right. And they not done. There's gonna be a lot more wild shit that's happening. But I really hope that we can survive through all this nonsense that's gonna be happening. I want to give my hearts out to everybody. We're all involved in this. From like not having enough people to cultivate crops, loading up those trucks and bringing said crops to the grocery store. I just spent $20 on avocado. I thought that was crazy. Like maybe 4 or 5 of them, like $32 or whatever, $28 for a thing of guacamole. That's outrageous. Eggs is crazy. Obviously, that's for the the bird flu and everything. But on top of that, like gas is up. Like it's real nasty out here. So it's just weird. I'm all over the place because I felt like the last 3 weeks have been all over the place. So, keep your heads up, everybody, man. I wanted to make sure that we had that conversation. Should have put it on the front of the pod, but we went heavy with everything else. So,
no, can I jump in real quick?
Yeah.
He looked like he watching that anyways. No, I appreciate you bringing up that because, my kids' dad, he's undocumented. He entered this country legally, but his visa ran out. We were married. It's a very long process that we're still in to get him documented. And literally every day, anytime he calls me now, let's just say that's the phone call. I got emotional. I'm not going to cry right now though, because it's real. The fear is really real. Like, I think people think that, like, it's far removed. And it's like a joke, or it's just like something people talk about online, or like people are just going to like these protests. Like, they think this is like a social media movement. You know what I mean? And I'm like, no. Like, what y'all don't understand is like, this is real life. Like, I'm literally every day praying to God that I don't get the phone call that my kid's father is being held in a detainment center. Which, if you've seen those detainment centers, they are like concentration camps. They are like, we'll save that for next time. Let's not even talk about. And then I was talking to someone, they were like, people have this false idea. They think like it's like the movies. You get deported and they send you on a plane and you go back to your home country. Nah. When people get obtained by ICE, they go to detention centers, which are these big warehouses that, if my husband got picked up tomorrow, who knows how long it would be before we saw him, before I would be able to help him, before he would be even in his own country. How, like, it's devastating and it's terrifying. And I'm so grateful that you brought that up, because I need people to know that this is like real life. And yeah, this is what you guys wanted. Great. Here we are. But now, you know what? We can't just be like, oh, well, we do have to mobilize. How they put the freeze. They put the freeze on the WIC, the Medi-Cal, the SNAPs, all the things that my family directly benefits from. I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, like, my son has asthma. We're in the hospital for 12 hours with his pneumonia. I wouldn't be able to afford his asthma medication, all the things that he needed when we were there for 12 hours. Like, I'm in panic mode. But they stopped that freeze, I believe, right? And now people mobilize, and I believe they lifted the freeze on certain programs. So mobilizing is important. But anyways, all that to say, like, this shit is real, y'all. Like, this is real life. Yes, those prices you're paying, those protests you're seeing, it's for a reason. People you're working with are living in fear. I'm living in fear because they're really snatching people out here. And I just want to remind you guys, like, it's just like if you get picked up by the police, do not say nothing. Be quiet. Revoke. I don't speak English. Request a translator. Request a lawyer. Do not show your passport. Don't even carry your national passport. My husband had his passport, my father's kid had his passport in his pocket when I saw him today. I was like, dog, what are you doing? I was like, don't be carrying that around you. Like, if they pull you over and you pull that out, like, you think you're showing proper documentation, like ID, they're going to snatch you. you know, I've literally had to debrief him. Like, do this, don't do this. Tell them to call me immediately. Call David, our lawyer. Don't say shit. Like, if you see, don't run, walk away. Like, so anyways, it's real implications out here. So hopefully we make it, God willing.
Absolutely. My theory is that all middle America finally got cell phones and figured out how to use them. They just didn't know how to check for scholarly sources. Because, like, some of the shit that, like, you know how we used to say, like, middle America is, like, dumb, or Midwest people or South. You like,
gonna piss off some of our listeners.
Look, they need to talk to their cousins, right? Because I feel like they all got cell phones now. Because I seen a dude, he went in there and started talking about tariffs, knowing damn well that tariffs have very minimal impact on the economy, like, historically. But he started talking about Mexico and Canadian.
Average person doesn't know that.
I know, but when the motherfuckers start going off in the video saying that shit, and then there's people underneath like, thanks for explaining with American flag emoji, I'm like, fam.
And it spreads like wildfire.
You see, he purposely left out China for a reason, right? If you're saying that they were only part of 5% of our GDP, add those two 5% together, that's 10. And then you add China in there, that's a very big chunk. And most of our automobile industry comes off of trade. Mm. So, like, bro, when you put these tariffs on there, or you have these dumbass people on here that don't go and research, they're going to watch this guy with no credibility for a minute and a half go off on this story. It's like, bro, how can you win? This is why I don't even try to fight with nobody no more. I just I stay ready, you know, to make peace or cause chaos. It's just where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I be trying to make peace for the most part.
Yeah.
So my peace was me leaving and going to the dealership, getting a different car, biting the bullet on a higher interest rate, knock down that MSRP, and I'll see you on the refi.
On the refi.
On the refi, I'll see you on the back end. Knock that MSRP down. Go ahead, Lex.
Well, in a rare turn of events.
Oh, I love this.
I'm going to lighten the mood a little bit.
I have a real three cheers, too. I love that. Lighten the mood for us.
3 cheers, a couple of them.
Oh, yay.
One.
He's making up for lost time.
Saquon Barkley for giving the ultimate fuck you to the Giants.
Yeah, big nasty vibes.
You know, even though he didn't do much in this game, you know, he got him there.
Yeah, all season.
Number 2 is going to be Eric Allen. Dago native.
Yeah,
just got inducted to the Football Hall of Fame.
Antonio Gates.
I'm talking about San Diego.
Me too.
From here.
And I might as well be from here. Me from my side.
And who else? Hubie Brown. Hubie Brown's one of the last original broadcasters that I can remember from like the whole time I've been watching basketball. You know, eventually these guys are going to age out, and now that's starting to happen more and more. It's like, watching the Super Bowl, it's like Tom Brady talking. Like, I'm not used to hearing that shit. Like, I'm trying to hear Al Michaels. You know what I mean? Shit like that. So, but Hubie, shit, he did 50 years, and so he had his last game this morning, and went out in true G fashion. Nothing crazy, but yeah, I guess it is a little lighter than the shit y'all was on. Yeah, shout out to them too.
them peoples.
No, I wanted to shout out my friend Morgan. I was explaining to her how you guys taught me the other day about your great whites.
Yeah, the great whites.
And so she's a listener. She's not a listener. And so she was like, what is the great whites or something? And I was like, oh, you're a great white. I was like, you're one of the greatest whites I know. And so,
it's not how it worked, but it worked. It worked.
I was just thinking, like, you know, in this climate, it is actually really important for Black and brown people to know which white people are with us. And so.
Well, luckily now it's a lot easier to see.
Yeah, it is. But just, having like your white friends that are not afraid to out loud advocate and in the circles where Black and brown people aren't. And I know that's what Morgan is, and so just shout out to her. She asked me the other day if we were like, she was like, it seems like you guys, she was like, man, she said we were hilarious, right? Last few weeks. And she was like, it seems like you guys are really like friends. Like, she was like, is it like just for show or like, are you guys friends? Like, do you guys like not like, as it like film off and then it's radio silence? And I was like, I would consider us friends. Like, we check in on each
definitely
other.
Radio silence.
We have.
There's definitely. I mean, we all have shit to do. So it's like,
No, but I mean, like, she was like, do we like, is there our friendship? Do we have a friendship, or are we just like friends for the show?
nah, we were off. Well, I was friends with all of you guys before we did all this. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I feel like we have like forged a friendship. What do you think? Would you consider me a friend, a fake friend, an online
fake
friend, or a
friend?
real friend?
She gave
I
you
don't
a lot
know the
of-
difference because I'm not really that. I don't
Nigga,
don't
say
have
yes.
online friends.
Just say yes, dog.
Yes,
Get
we are
the
friends.
fuck,
No,
man.
no,
because she
no,
said-
damn, just
I
talk
know.
it down.
She said
Never
online-
mind. I guess it's just for the pod,
No,
y'all.
she
I be
said-
trying to save his ass. This is why
She
she
said
didn't get
online
back.
friends, and I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
Oh,
Like, you know, like virtual friends. Like, don't you have people that you just like?
oh shit! It wouldn't be Philly without it.
Not really.
All right.
What?
Well, I'm gonna say yes. We're actual friends.
We're
It's not
actual.
just
We're
for
all
the pod.
actual friends.
And we do talk.
I
We
mean,
do
if you
check in.
called me and actually needed me for something and send me a message, I'd call you.
Yeah.
Like there's certain people I just won't answer the phone to.
You
Somebody hit us in
our
our DM was like, "Yo, man, I want to come back on."
Come back on.
Just like that shit.
I've had
Take a
phone
guess,
conversations.
wild guess off the top of your head. I'm not that. It's not that I'm saying
know
no.
who
It's
it
just
is.
that, bro. I don't need to organize that right now. You know what I mean? Sorry. I'm serious. I don't know what else to say.
Be nice.
I am being nice. Play the music. Get the fuck out of here. We did 215. That's the longest pod we ever did. I'm out of here.
Oh my god.
That was 2:15.
Yeah.
Who was that? Oh wait, we're
It's
Never mind,
still
wait.
all right
I
now.
don't know.
You still want to say that?